Callahan Injury Lawyers.
Good morning. It's 7 a.m. on Thursday, January the 14th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect sunny skies with a high of 68. Coming up today on Off the Bench, presented by All-Star Toyota, LSU Athletics Executive Chef Michael Johnson joins us at 7:30 to answer all your Munchie questions. So get them in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat. LSU head basketball coach Will Wade will stop by at 8 a.m. Barstool Mintz's six-pack at 8:15. And the Athletics' Bruce Feldman joins the show at 8:30. Follow on Twitter today at OTB_ESPN. Watch live at the 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel. Make sure you get subscribed to the Off the Bench and Off the Bench Overtime YouTube channels. Set your notifications. New content is posted there daily. Hour number 1 of OTB starts right now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Off and at off the bench, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, 100.3 ESPN Radio down in New Orleans, 94.7 ESPN Alexandria, online 104.5ESPN.com. Good Thursday morning to you. Jordy Collada, T-Bob Hebert, Matthew Musso, Danny Cardenas here with you. All the way up until 10 a.m. this morning. We are jam-packed with guests and tons to get to. Will Wade, off of a statement win in the SEC last night, the number one offense in the conference, flies in from Fayetteville and is stymied by the Tigers defense. When's the last time you've seen LSU basketball D up, locked up last night in possessions? We'll talk to Will Wade coming up here an hour from now on Off the Bench. 8:15, Barstool Mintz will stop by with a six-pack for a divisional round weekend of NFL games. Looking forward to catching up with Mintz.
Yeah,
he is balling up at Barstool.
Yeah, and after you directly helped to make that Walk-Ons Barstool $100,000 deal work again, shout out Walk-Ons Brandon Landry, supporting small businesses.
Bruce Feldman from The Athletic will stop by at 8:30, give us the latest on LSU's defensive coordinator search. As Feldman's been on top of it, we'll also hear from LSU's new offensive minds as Jake Peets and DJ Mangus were introduced on Wednesday by head coach Ed Orgeron. 7:30 this morning, top chef in town over at LSU, Michael Johnson, answering your food questions. Hashtag Munchies inside of the huddle. Brought to you by the Bayou Ford Group. Ask him specifically on how maybe to cook up some good deer meat. Coming up here at 7:30 this morning on Off the Bench. How are we feeling, big
If
fella?
you have any.
Yeah, sure.
If you have any. Given the very humorous nature of yesterday's story. I'm feeling great. My basketball
I know
heart.
the James Harden deal's got you.
It's got me really angry.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
little
almost
flustered
like
this morning.
it's got me so flustered that I'm kind of, I think, combined with the Pelicans sucking, that I hate to be this guy, but I'm falling into the being mad at the NBA as a whole type of trap. I mean, I'm normally the NBA defender in all the group texts when people are talking about how bad of a league it is and how the players are just do whatever. Like, and I'm always somebody who supports like player latitude and player power. But I don't know. For me, this kind of feels like the straw that breaks the camel's back. I think this is horrible for the NBA. Kevin Durant, not satisfied with being a part of the softest move in NBA history, decided it was so soft he wanted to do it twice. I hate every single bit of it. I wish nothing but bad things upon the Brooklyn Nets. And look, be careful what you wish for. You have three of the most talented players ever. You also have three of the most dysfunctional players ever. And I hope it all results in a catastrophic breakdown where they all end up hating each other and the Nets end up falling vastly short of their goals. I wish nothing good on them. LSU basketball was awesome, though. So that made my basketball heart a little bit happier.
Poor Steve Nash. Here are your headlines on this Thursday, January 14th. Whoa.
All-Star Toyota
maybe.
presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collins.
Musso.
But maybe not poor Steve Nash, right? Because the worst part about all of this is, as dysfunctional as they are, they'll probably win.
Moscona got you on a fact-finding mission? You Zach Arnett?
No. Do it again.
Zach Arnett.
Do it again.
Here are headlines on this Thursday presented by Barbecue Guys.
OTB headlines are brought to you by Barbecue Guys. They're your one-stop shop for everything outdoor kitchens and living. Barbecue Guys, helping America host better barbecues since 1998.
LSU basketball used an 18-0 run early in the first half to move to its second straight dominating win as they topped Arkansas 92-76 last night in the Maravich Center. Tigers are now 9-2 overall, 4-1 in SEC play. All 5 Tigers in the starting lineup scored in double figures, including Trendon Watford and Darius Days, who both had double-doubles last night. Watford was 9 of 16 from the field and hit all 4 of his free throws, while Darius Days was 8 of 10 overall from the field. Cam Thomas played despite an ankle injury. He had 17 and 3. In fact, he was on last night on the postgame giving an update on that ankle after he dropped 17 on the Hogs.
Ankle still sore, nowhere near 100%, but I just felt like I had to be out there for my team and make a difference. So I'll just fight through the pain and keep moving on.
Milwaukee Wilkinson finished with 11-6. The Tigers will host South Carolina in the second of 3 straight home games on Saturday night. Tip time set for 7:30. We will talk to head coach Will Wade coming up here at 8 a.m. on Off the Bench. LSU head football coach Ed Orgeron introduced his 2 new offensive minds on Wednesday. His offensive coordinator Jake Peets and his passing game coordinator DJ Mangus. Former LSU running back Chris Curry announced Wednesday that he'll be transferring to Utah to finish his college career. Here was Orgeron on the younger guys coming in on offense yesterday before he introduced them.
Younger knows the spread. Those young guys know the spread. We weren't born in the spread. We weren't raised in the spread. So those guys were experts in the spread. They just happen to be young, but they're bright and they're very smart, innovative. They come from a different era. We were hard-nosed football coaches, basic football coaches, get after them. These guys, PowerPoints, organization, very smart. You know, you go into an offensive meeting, you can be an IBM. This guy he's very smart, and it's just different. And they were raised in a different era, and I'm glad that we brought it to LSU.
It's kind of shocking to me how close he got to using the Bain line, considering we had visited it so much, right? Philosophically, what were you looking for hiring in this process? You wanted somebody who was born into this, molded by it, that came of it, that didn't learn it, and that's exactly what Orgeron alluded to yesterday. We're talking about Peets and Mangus versus maybe Linehan and then even Coach Insminger.
Nick Underhill yesterday had the news that the Saints waived John Denny, and they also waived Blair Walsh, so it looks like their kicker is definitely going to be Will Lutz heading into Sunday's matchup versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the divisional round. Saints are favored by 3. Total in this game is 52 between the two legends, Brady and Breeze, as they meet for the first time in the playoffs. Sean Payton was on his conference call yesterday talking about the pair of linebackers for Tampa Bay, including former LSU star Devin White.
Those are 2 real good players. They have good instincts. They run well, and they're smart. So it's a challenging front. It's a challenging defense. But that tandem is outstanding.
Payton also talked about the development of special teams All-Pro Deontay Harris at wide receiver.
He's someone that has good instincts. And, you know, the trick is how do we get him the ball in space quickly? And I think when we're able to do that, oftentimes, you know, he can make the first guy miss. So, yeah, there are some skills, and I think he's a pretty savvy player. He understands the game and leverage, and that helps a lot.
Great audio on that. Fantastic audio.
Are you is that sarcastic? I can't.
No.
Okay. You like it better than normal?
That was their conference call audio is normally really
it's normally
bad.
horrible. It is normally horrible.
Like
That's fair.
Comes from like a bathroom.
Yes.
That sounded very clear.
That was great.
That was great.
Well, look, Deontay Harris is going to need to be really good, as is Mike Thomas, the rest of these receivers, because when you look, that front that Peyton was alluded to for Tampa Bay being so good, by years in, they ended up working themselves into the best rush defense in the entire NFL by a wide margin. Remember, the Saints are third. They're very good at stopping the run. They only give up 91 yards a game. Tampa only gives up 80. So I'm not sure how much success you're going to be able to have on the ground with Latavius Murray and Alvin Kamara this week, meaning that all these weapons in the air, because where's Tampa weak? The secondary, guys like Deontay Harris, they're going to be that much more important come Sunday.
5:40 start between the Bucks and Saints on Sunday afternoon inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. All the action 2 hours before kickoff on Eagle 98.1. Kansas City Chiefs should have running back Clyde Edwards-Helaire for Sunday's divisional round game against the Cleveland Browns at Arrowhead Stadium. Clyde Edwards-Helaire returned to practice on Wednesday for the first time since suffering an ankle and hip injury in Week 15 versus the New Orleans Saints. He's been limited in practice. He led the team in rushing with 800 yards in the regular season. He also caught 36 passes and scored 5 touchdowns. The Pelicans last night, Kawhi Leonard scored 28, Paul George added 27, and the LA Clippers defeated the shorthanded Pelicans 111-106. Pels were without Zion Williamson, Lonzo Ball, and Eric Bledsoe. Together, they account for about 46% of the offense.
Well, like, even beyond that, the Pelicans' bench is already the problem, right? So it's like they're just too thin to be able to be down that much and still come away with a win.
But shout out to Nickeil Alexander-Walker, who led the Pels last night with 37, a bright spot on a down night as he had 37 and 8, both career highs for him. Brandon Ingram had 22 as the Clippers were just focused on trying to shut down Ingram. Jackson Hayes had 10 rebounds last night for the Pels. Pels have lost 4 straight.
It's not good.
They're at the Lakers on Friday night. Lakers look great. Anthony Davis looks fantastic.
Unfortunately, it's a feeling, that's just all too familiar if you're a Pelicans fan. It's actually a bit like returning to my comfort zone, right? 4-game losing streaks, not a lot of hope on the horizon. That's what I'm used to. That 4-2 start, that's what felt odd. So it is a nice little bit of nostalgia here, a little returning home, if you will. The most annoying part about all of this is that Zion was held out because of an inconclusive test. Yeah. What are we doing here? How are we still have inconclusive tests? It's the NBA. Like, there's no way Nick Saban can get cleared by game day, but we can't get Zion cleared for a national television game. Here's to hoping he'll be ready to go Friday. Again, another ESPN game, meaning you don't have to deal with Sinclair Media's BS.
Sounds like the LSU compliance department is running the NBA drug testing policy.
I mean,
or the
come
COVID testing policy. NBA, this is what T-Bob was whining about before the show. James Harden.
You don't agree?
I agree. I'm sorry. That was a bad word.
Okay,
We've both used
I'm a little heated.
Wrong terminology this week at times.
I apologize.
James Harden is getting traded.
Jump across this table, boy.
Is getting the trade that he wanted. Houston Rockets are sending their former MVP to the Brooklyn Nets in a massive blockbuster deal that includes 4 teams. This is Woj had it first over at ESPN yesterday. So the Rockets are getting Victor Oladipo, Rodions Kurucs, Dante Exum, 4 unprotected first-round picks from Brooklyn. The Nets get James Harden. Pacers get Caris LeVert and a second-round pick from Houston. And the Cavs get Jarrett Allen and Taurean Prince. With the dust settled, this turned out to be one of the biggest trades in NBA history. But the headline is that Houston is sending James Harden to play alongside Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving and be coached by Steve Nash in Brooklyn.
I do love they had to get rid of LeVert and Allen, and if I'm Houston, I think I'm actually pretty happy getting Oladipo. Funnily enough, that's actually the first time that I've heard the details of the deal because it made me so angry I didn't even care what the actual details were. But no, I think this is so horrible on so many levels. How about this? How about all the Houston Rockets fans that have defended that man for years when all other NBA fan bases are talking about what a miserable style of player James Harden is? And how bad, like, the quality of basketball is, him just using his long arms to go in there and get fouled, shoot a million free throws, blah, 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 blah. Everybody attacking James Harden for having such a negative impact on the game. And who's always defending him? The Rockets fans. I saw it all the time on Twitter. And what did James Harden do to the Rocket fans? He ate too many cheeseburgers, crapped in their face, and now flew to New York to go hang out with the other softest player in the NBA, Kevin Durant. I hope they all choke on Kyrie's incense smoke, and I hope that they have to sit out. They don't win any games. I hate the Brooklyn Nets as of today, and I used to love Steve Nash.
Those are your headlines presented by Barbecue Guys Daily here. We're going to talk to Will Wade in 45 minutes. We're answering your food questions coming up in 15 minutes. Ben Mintz will stop by from Barstool in the second hour today, and we'll hear from Bruce Feldman over at The Athletic about LSU's defensive coordinator search. Jam-packed, off the bench, driven and powered every day by All-Star Toyota.
OTB headlines are presented daily by Barbecue Guys. Remember, the most popular grill on the market is Blaze Grills, premium gas grills that combine expert engineering and dependable performance, all backed by a best-in-class lifetime warranty. Visit barbecueguys.com or our local showroom to learn more about Blaze Grills. Off the Bench with Jordy Cullata and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Daily brought to you by Central Plumbing Company, online at centralplumbing.org. Remember, get in touch with them at 925-8552, or you can find them online at centralplumbing.org. They're located on Greenville Springs Road. If you're handy around the house and you can fix it yourself, they have the Central Plumb It Yourself, where they have all the tools and accessories for you to fix your plumbing needs. But if you need trustable, dependable plumbing services met both residential and commercial today, get in touch with Central Plumbing Company, 925-8552.
925-8552, centralplumbing.org. As Jordy said, it's not. We always talk about it from a residential angle, but commercially, if you have a business building and you need your plumbing needs met, they have the correct insurance, paperwork, and personnel to do so. But really, look, if you're like me, the bottom line is that you just need someone to help you with plumbing issues because you don't know what to do, right? So anytime I have anything go wrong, I know where to go, either to go to centralplumbing.org. I pick up the phone, 925-8552. They're licensed, bonded, and insured. Flat rate pricing structure, great warranty. They fix my problem, centralplumbing.org.
Off the Bench, hanging with Esther and Annie, after further review and more, are all live daily on the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge YouTube channel. Subscribe now to interact with us inside the live chat driven by Bayou Ford.
Here's a great way to start the new year, saving lots of money, because Richards Honda has 0% financing. 0% on some of your favorite Honda models. And with Richards Honda transparent pricing, there are no add-ons or hidden fees. When we give you a price, that's the price you pay. Transparent pricing and 0% financing? Must be why smart customers love Richards Honda. Interstate 12 at Millerville Road and richardshonda.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Hey guys, this is Ryan Terrio with Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge, and you've got to come see us for the New Year's Certified Pre-Owned event. CPO vehicles come with an unlimited mileage warranty, and right now we're offering a 2-month payment credit up to $1,500, as well as 1.99% for 36 months on all eligible models. Check them out at mbobr.com or go see my guys Nick and Hess to take your new year up a gear. See dealer for complete details and exclusions. Qualified customers only. Subject credit approval by NBFS. Must take delivery by March 1st, 2021.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Thursday's AFR, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, previewing Saints-Bucks with Mike Detillier, and we'll recap LSU, Arkansas, and hoops. Join us 3 to 6 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Great story from Warren Sapp on Ed Orgeron featuring The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, back on the practice field at the U. As Sapp was on Shannon Sharp's podcast yesterday and was telling about some of the stories about practicing at the U. Said that The Rock came up with a lot of his catchphrases from defensive line coach Ed Orgeron. Here's a little bit of the story yesterday from the Club Shay Shay podcast with Shannon Sharp.
Shay. Rocky Johnson was his daddy, and the Flying Snooker Brothers was his uncles. So it was in his blood. He just took all those sayings. That was Ed Orgeron. That candy ass and shoving it sideways. Oh, my God. That's what Ed Orgeron used to talk to us if we had a bad practice or a bad game. That's how he used to talk to us, just like that.
Damn, okay, dude. That's pretty legendary right there, man. Of course, The Rock showing Edo and the LSU Tigers some love last year, narrating maybe the best hype video of the season. I was holding out hope that Jabroni would have been an Ed Orgeron original, but alas, I guess we can't have everything. Still, Candy Ass. I mean, that is The Rock, at least for me when I think of Candy Ass, and that's funny to know that now the etymology of that is actually Coach O.
Do you think SmackDown was a Coach O original?
I don't know. What did he say? So he specifically said Candy Ass and shoving it sideways?
That's what Warren Sapp just said. Yeah.
Hell yeah,
that's
man.
Wild. That's wild.
That's big time. Anybody who grew up watching wrestling that is my age, definitely The Rock was probably the most. I mean, from the people's eyebrow and the people's elbow to the corporate eyebrow, the corporate elbow, he's just been one of the biggest, most impactful stars of really, I guess, my entire life on earth.
Got a couple questions for O next week.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
Right. Daily, we're brought to you by Lanoix Insurance Agency, online at lanoixagency.com. Remember, you can get in touch with our friends, our insurance agents as well, Randy, Brian, and David Lanoix this morning by dialing 749-5640 or online at lanoixagency.com. You need auto insurance, home insurance, business insurance, flood insurance. Get in touch with Randy, Brian, and David this morning, lanoixagency.com. They're headquartered over there in Bruley, right across the river in West Baton Rouge. And you can find them online at lanoixagency.com. Orgeron, lots to get to. LSU basketball, Will Wade and the Tigers make a statement win last night as the number one offense in the conference. Coach Eric Musselman and the Hogs come down from Fayetteville last night, and LSU defensively. I told Coach Wade after the game, I can't remember. I think that was his best defensive effort since he's been the head coach here. I mean, for an extended amount of time, I can't remember them dominating possessions like they did last night. I thought one of the most impressive parts was his energy on his bench. I was in the arena last night. I mean, the stops, the communication, the engagement from the bench to what was happening on the floor really gives you a sign of the cohesive and chemistry of a team, and that team looks like they are very well put together and very tight right now as they get into the teeth of the conference play. Played their first of a 3 home game stretch. They'll play South Carolina on Saturday. They will host Alabama on Tuesday night, which will be a showdown in the conference on television, on the big stick, on ESPN on Tuesday night. So it is LSU basketball trending in the right direction last night. Love the way he changes the defense in and out of timeouts. Very confusing to Arkansas last night. I thought there was a lot of bright spots. We will get to it with Will Wade coming up here at 8 a.m.
Yeah, look, I'm a basketball fan, right? I'm by no means a basketball analyst. So as a layman, a lot of times I got to translate these things into numbers to really appreciate them, right? So last night I see an Arkansas team that was averaging 87 coming in. They come out with just 76. I see an Arkansas team that was shooting 45% from the field. They shoot just 34% on the night. I see an Arkansas team that was averaging 43 rebounds a game, first in the SEC. What do? They get out rebounded 48-39. And then I see an LSU team that I'm starting to really love the makeup of, Jordy. And I'm not just talking defensively, I'm talking offensively, where in Cam Thomas, who admittedly played hurt last night and everything, but in Cam Thomas, you have your huge volume scorer who can literally go off at any time. But then the great part about that is, look, when you have a big volume scorer, that means that everybody else has to be hyper efficient to get theirs. Well, how about this? Go right now. Look up wherever you like to look up your statistics, right? Look at the SEC stats. Look at the individual field goal percentage leaders. You know who's second in the SEC right now? Darius Days, shooting 56% from the field. Third in the SEC, Trenton Watford, 53% from the field. Fifth in the SEC, Javonte Smart, 51%. So you have 3 of the top 5 most efficient shooters in the league surrounding Cam Thomas. So, like, all of a sudden you have a team that offensively, it can just, there's so many different options. And you saw that last night. How many guys ended up in double digits last night?
All 5 starters.
I mean, there you go. All 5 starters end up breaking that 10-point threshold. The scoring was spread out as a team. LSU leads the SEC, shooting almost 50% on the year. They're right at 49. So this is a team that, like, if they can play defense like that, obviously I don't expect that to be the norm going forward. I mean, they jumped out to what? It was 30-9, like when you blinked. And then I think at one point that league got up to 31 points. So that's not going to be the norm. But if you can just get a modicum of that defense, right, night in and night out, you are not going to be able to stop them offensively. They just have too many answers, too many scorers. And I mentioned that rebounding statistic. Shout out to Darius Days, especially in the offensive glass. But Days and Watford getting it done last night. I think those two combined for like 25 alone.
23. Watford had 10. Days had 13. You mentioned the offensive work he did. He had 5 on the offensive glass and a loud 5. I mean, he come in, clean them up, put them right back in. So Darius Days looked good. Tigers looked good last night. They'll host South Carolina on Saturday for a 7:30 tip-off. Their head coach will stop by here in about 25 minutes, about 35 minutes here on Off the Benches. We'll talk to Will Wade. Yesterday, Ed Orgeron introduced his 2 new offensive minds as Jake Peets, who's the new offensive coordinator, and DJ Mangus comes back to LSU as he was here for the championship season serving under Joe Brady, now here as the passing game coordinator. Both those guys had the opportunity to speak to the press yesterday, and Peets was talking about what he's learned so far up to this point from Joe Brady. Spent a season with Brady in Carolina last year. Now he comes over to LSU to call the plays.
Joe is, and you guys, I'm assuming most of you guys were around for the 19th season and got an opportunity to speak with him. But he's elite with intelligence. But the way that he communicates, and not just with me, I was his quarterback coach, but with the players. And he helped me to make some things a little more simple. You know, like we helped shape each other's thoughts, but there were times where I thought he helped me take it from advanced math to maybe Algebra 1, which in learning these systems, it's not about what I know, it's about what these guys know. It's not about what we know, it's what they can learn and retain and play fast with.
And look, I love that messaging because that's the genius of any great coach. And we talk about the Rand in the past, Brady in the past. You have to be able to communicate responsibility, right? And ideally, you make things look complex to your opponent while being simple to understand for your players. And that's exactly, especially on the college level, where you have to work around your team rather than, we can just sign another guy who gets it mentally. So I really like hearing that. It's probably my favorite answer from him yesterday, that was the one he started with, where he talked about it's not about football right now. It's about establishing player trust, because that is what I've always talked about. My favorite coaches in my entire life are the guys that I felt like, okay, I have trust in them, that if I do what they're saying, even if it sounds weird to me or maybe sounds wrong, that if I do it, they are putting me in the best position to succeed. If you really want to have that great player-coach relationship, that is where it starts. I think maybe like Tommy Moffitt is the only guy that I truly felt that way about on that LSU staff. So if he can indeed pull that off, like just hearing him say that as his core value, that made me that did a lot for me. It made me very excited.
Jake Peets is coming to the college game. If you look at his resume, it's dominated by the NFL and being at the top level of football. Why come to college?
It's LSU. Like, you look at the players that you get to work with here. Most of these guys, all of these guys that are walking into my office that introduce themselves, they all look like they're in the NFL. They look like the same guys I was with at Carolina or anywhere else. But the thing that really drew me here, Joe talking to me about it and his great experience that he had here, and that the people that are here. It was a difficult decision. I love working for Matt Rule. You know, Mr. David Tepper is an outstanding owner with the Carolina Panthers. And I love working for Joe Brady there. My wife and kids, we love it in Charlotte. We would not have left if it wasn't a unique opportunity here.
DJ Mangus comes back to LSU. He mentioned being back in Baton Rouge.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you guys having me. I'm obviously beyond fired up to be back. You guys are well aware that I was here in 2019, so to know that I've got the opportunity and a greater role to be a part of a program like LSU and a program that's capable of doing the things that we did in 2019 and an offense that was capable or is capable of doing what we were able to accomplish, then it's it's obviously an opportunity that I couldn't say no to, and I'm just beyond excited to be here.
Another element that I loved yesterday, Jordy, is that Pete's from the bat almost introduced him and Mangus like a tag team, right? Yeah. There's some idea out there of maybe like a power struggle. You know, who's the leader? Is there going to be like does everybody know where the buck stops, right? And it is obvious. We've used the head sous chef analogy, and I think that plays. But I love the fact that they both seem to be on the same page, and their strengths complement each other. In Pete's, you have a guy who has a ton of experience, been in a million different scenarios, a million different rooms, knows how to communicate not just to other coaches, but obviously the players. In Mangus, that's probably where he's a bit weakest, right? He hasn't dealt with that many rooms, that many players, but Mangus has more of the wunderkind kind of aspect to him, where he's a leading offensive mind despite his age, and he's kind of rocking it up because of that. And so, whereas Pete's may not bring the most offensive theory to the table, Mangus does, and then Pete's is the one who will be tasked with communicating that and getting everybody on the same page, and he seems very well suited to do that. So this looks like a partnership that could actually pay huge dividends and could really work out.
Talking food next with Michael Johnson here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Colada and T-Bob.
Daily, we're brought to you by AdvanaClean. Remember, you got to get in touch with AdvanaClean today if you have any types of mold, water, and fire around the house. They're called disasters, man. I mean, you know, if you wake up and like T-Bob says, if the socks hit the ground and all you feel is water, you know you're in for a disaster. If the toilet overflows, you got busted pipes, plumbing malfunction, where water is not where it's supposed to be, mold, water, or fire, you got to get in touch with AdvanaClean. In fact, I woke up on Christmas morning, had the AC replaced, little pan spill over, which caused a water stain on the roof. This is Christmas Day. I get in touch with Bradley Lynch over at AdvanaClean. He comes over on December 25th, takes a look at it, tells me it'll be an easy fix. It's not anything that's leaking. It was just something that maybe spilled over and that they got to have cleaned up. AdvanaClean is online, ADVANTA clean.com, or you can get in touch with them by dialing 369-5228. Remember, they take the headaches out with working with the insurance companies. AdvanaClean.com.
You had this man come over on Christmas?
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Hey guys, this is Ryan Terrio with Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge, and you've got to come see us for the New Year's Certified Pre-Owned event. CPO vehicles come with an unlimited mileage warranty, and right now we're offering a 2-month payment credit up to $1,500, as well as 1.99% for 36 months on all eligible models. Check them out at mbobr.com or go see my guys Nick and Hess to take your new year up a gear. See dealer for complete details and exclusions. Qualified customers only. Subject credit approval by NBFS. Must take delivery by March 1st, 2021.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644.
Join us for a Thursday edition of Jimmy Ott's Game Time, live from Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. LSU basketball gets a win last night, and we continue to break down Saints-Bucks in the Superdome on Sunday. Come out and see us or tune in at 6 p.m. on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Chef Michael Johnson is back on OTB. Brought to you by Barbecue Guys. Barbecue Guys is your one-stop shop for everything outdoor kitchens and living. Send your questions into the Bayou Ford YouTube chat using the hashtag Munchies.
All right, the chef is here every Thursday. Went long in our opening segments as there was a ton of news. LSU basketball rolls last night. LSU football introduces the offensive coaches. NBA last night, blockbuster trade. NFL football with the Saints and the Buccaneers. Brady and Breeze coming up this Sunday. We'll talk all about it coming up here on Off the Bench. But it is your Munchie segment here on OTB. Chef Michael Johnson is back here on ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, and Alexandria. Hashtag Munchies, Chef. Has Coach O ever called you a candy ass or told you to shove it sideways?
No, I don't think I've heard those words come out of his mouth, no.
Hashtag Munchies. Do athletes eat Eggs Benedict?
We've never served Eggs Benedict. Usually the breakfast is kind of a snacky thing, and that's a little bit more involved. But I'm certain that we have athletes that will. Yeah, we've got some pretty adventurous athletes.
You might get a lot of deer-related questions today, Chef.
Yeah.
Jordy had quite a good deer story yesterday.
There you go.
And thus, let's go ahead and kick things off. Are deer nuts considered mountain oysters?
That's a good question, brother. I've never put too much thought to it, to be honest with you.
Hashtag Munch.
Check the reference books.
Sorry about that.
The reference books for that.
How do you feel about mountain oysters? Are you a fan?
When I was a kid, we had pigs, and we harvested hog nuts, and we would have a hog fry, and it was just something you did on the farm, and calves as well. That's not to say that I enjoy them. I'm just saying that it was part of life.
Crunchy texture? Crunchy?
No, they're not crunchy. They're soft. Yeah.
Hashtag Munchies. Bluebell just reintroduced the banana pudding ice cream. Would you try it?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Hashtag Munchies. How do you serve summer vegetables during the winter? Are they South American vegetables?
You guys have doozies today, yeah.
I don't know, dude. Okay, here we go. Vince Sabiza, he's gonna bring us back here. Hashtag Munchies. Why does dark chocolate and dark beer make a chili so damn good?
Oh, I don't know, but it does too, right? I guess maybe the roasted flavors, smoky roasted flavors, kind of pull into it a little bit. My grandmother used to ash her cigarettes into chili, and it kind of made it smoky and ashy, and somehow tasted good. I don't know. It seems strange, but I think those dark, smoky flavors pull into it well. Yeah.
Hashtag Munchies, ideas for ground deer meat other than tacos, spaghetti, and chili.
Well, you kind of nailed my favorites there. So I don't know. I think probably going like Mexican with enchiladas or something like that, which is kind of the same thing as tacos, really. But my brother likes to take it and stuff it into peppers and wrap them with bacon and do little poppers, which turns out pretty good.
Hashtag Munchies, Jordy is allegedly willing to kill illegal deer. Are you allegedly willing to keep fish that are shorter than legal length?
On the record, I have never done that before.
Hashtag Munchies, do you fry plantains with pan-seared speckled trout?
I guess you could. I like tostones, and I think that they probably will go with just about anything if you prepare them correctly, so I don't see a problem with it.
Chef, what's the best way to make a baked potato, and do you eat the skin?
I absolutely do eat the skin, and what I do is I will oil the outside of the potato and then sprinkle kosher salt on the outside of it. And what happens is it kind of draws the moisture out of the skin and makes it crisp and steams the inside of it, and I think that's the only way to bake a potato.
Oh, my God, my stomach. Hashtag Munchies, Chris Drell asking, why does gumbo taste better the next day?
Well, what happens is the flavors meld all together, right? There's very raw flavors in it when you first cook it. It's not just gumbo; that's soups in general. When they sit overnight and all those flavors meld together, it's going to produce something that's more harmonious than individual flavors pulled apart.
Hashtag Munchies. If this is in case you crash on the side of a mountain during the winter, would you rather be eaten to allow others to survive or eat someone to survive?
Well, I mean, the obvious answer here is I'm going to eat somebody before I let somebody eat me.
If we're eating human, I hope I got Chef on the plane with me. Right? Like, if nothing else, he's going to season it up a little bit, make it a little more palatable. Yeah.
Best rough roast ever.
Yeah. Hey, what do you think? I think I'd look pretty juicy.
For sure.
I think everybody
be eyeballing T-Bob.
It'd be like the old cartoons where you look and they just turn into like a giant piece of chicken or something. I'd be, but you got to get me first. Get me first, boys.
All right, I got burned earlier on a question, I feel like. I hope this one doesn't burn me again. Here's Brooks Godberry inside of the Bayou Ford chat app. Chef, where can I find good quality barbacoa meat? That's BARBACOA meat.
Oh, the barbacoa, right?
And,
barbacoa.
And what's the best way to prepare them for tacos?
I usually just make my own barbacoa, to be honest with you, and it's usually a brisket cut, and it's slow cooked down and then chopped up, and I can't think of any place around here, but I like to make my own, and slow cook it overnight. It's similar to smoking, but you don't have to necessarily smoke it. You just slow roast it with kind of Mexican seasonings on it, cumin and cayenne and spices like that, and then you let it rest. The resting is important. It needs to get over 185 degrees so that the connective tissues fall apart, and then you chop it up. And I don't know, barbacoa is something beautiful.
It's
really
amazing. I mean, I've gotten on burritos before, Chef. I don't think I ever realized it was brisket. It now makes so much sense why it's so delicious.
Yeah.
Bilbo T. Baggins, hashtag Munchies. Chef, are you a deep dish or New York style pizza guy?
I'm kind of when in Rome, right? So if I'm in New York, I'm eating that kind. If I'm in Chicago, I'm going deep dish. I just like pizza, to be honest with you. And I've never met a pizza I didn't like. So to say I like one over the other, I like Neapolitan style where the crust is kind of burnt and thin and crispy. Yeah.
Jeff Marsone wants to know, hashtag Munchies. Chef, what is the difference between kosher salt and plain salt?
Well, table salt has had iodine added to it, and kosher salt, is cleaner. And honestly, it tastes better. It's obviously the flake size matters when you're seasoning. A tablespoon of kosher salt and a tablespoon of sea salt are not the same thing because of surface area. So you have to be careful of that. If a recipe is calling for table salt, a tablespoon of kosher salt is not going to act the same. And to be honest with you, I don't really use table salt for much anymore. We either use sea salt or kosher salt, just for the purpose and the versatility of it.
So am I wrong here? Somebody told me the other day that when you cook, you're supposed to use kosher salt, and then maybe like the sea salt afterwards if you're seasoning like at the table.
Yeah, I think that would be appropriate. Yeah.
Hashtag Munchies. Have you ever tried Nutra in Louisiana?
Yeah, well, when I worked for Philippe Parola, we had Nutria on the menu, and it was an appetizer that we would give away. Actually, we would charge for it, but if somebody was interested in it, we would make them a small appetizer plate. It was done through the state of Louisiana, where something to the nature of, he was paid per pelt to advertise the Nutria, something of that nature. But we handled it kind of like rabbit, and soaked it in ice cold water and a little milk in it overnight, and then slow cooked it with kind of similar to this you would a rabbit, right? And treated it like rabbit meat, and then we cooked it in pork fat. So,
dude, I gotta taste
not
this.
Pork fat, duck fat, right? So it turned out really well.
Tastes like chicken?
Well, when you cook it in duck fat, it pulls out like duck, honestly, and it's kind of shred. You shred it, and it's almost a cross between pulled pork and duck. Yeah.
I'm fascinated.
Chris Jarrell asked a fantastic last question today. Is there anything the chef doesn't eat?
I ate this once, and I don't know if I would go back to it, because I'll try anything once. But I forget what it's called. It's a fruit that grows in the Philippines. It's oh God, I can't remember the name of it now off the top of my head.
Somebody in the app will get you. In fact, go out on this one. Daniel Glenn, ask chef. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Any special trick you make in making your sauce piquant?
No, I follow what the fathers have done before, to be honest with you, and I'm not trying to recreate the sauce. I'm trying to recreate what somebody else has done and create a memory out of it. I don't steer too far off of what I've been taught. Yeah.
Is it durian, Coach? Is
Durian.
that smelly that smelly fruit?
It smells like garbage dumpster or dead body. I mean, it's awful. So they sell it in Chicago, right? And you can get like a durian fruit smoothie. And there's signs all over the walls like you can't enter this building with durian because it smells that bad.
Wow.
So the texture of it's kind of like a scrambled egg. It's kind of firm but soft like that.
Sounds horrible.
I mean, the smell of it is indescribable.
Wait, so who likes it?
It's in certain cultures, like Filipino cultures. They eat it all the time. And, they have to put nets under the trees over there because the damn thing is so big that if it falls from a tree, it'll kill somebody. I mean, it's 3 times the size of a football, and it has spikes on it. It's incredible.
I'm looking at a picture of it right now. It's pretty
Chef,
intense.
I got 30 seconds. The intensity pickup with the students back on campus for you and your team?
I guess for me, because we have new faces, and that always brings intensity for me. And we always, we hadn't had a break for a long time, and we took 2 weeks off and kind of refreshed. And I think my team has definitely picked up the intensity and wants to show the new recruits, what we have. And I think that kind of happens every semester when we see new faces. And at the end of the semester, you kind of getting worn out and tired, and then at the beginning of the semester, you're kind of rejuvenated. So I would say yes. And I met some of the new guys the other day, and it was super exciting, and I'm excited for next season. So
great to hear from you, Chef. We'll talk to you next Thursday.
Thank you, guys. Take care.
Chef Michael Johnson from LSU Food checking in. We'll close that hour 1 next.
Off the bench with Colada and T-Bob.
Daily, we're brought to you here on OTB by All-Star Toyota. Remember, online at allstartoyota of BatonRouge.com is where you can find them on the web, or if you want to shop them over there in person, stop and see the showroom on Goodwood and Airline, Corollas, Camrys, Avalons, Siennas, if you're looking for the minivan like T-Bob is in, or a brand new Camry, just like he leased a 2021, which right now has 0.9 APR percent financing. Online, All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. Take it to.
Go to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com. Look, the website's a great starting point because you're going to get all the deals there. You're going to see the full breadth of the selection, get an idea of maybe which direction you want to go. So maybe then you go into the dealership with an idea, and then you find the answer, right? Or you just do it all online. You can talk to people live online. For me, I enjoyed going into All-Star and just letting them kind of be my shaman through the wilderness, find exactly what me and my family needed. And that's the point, is that whatever your needs may be, there's an answer for you at All-Star. Go to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com today.
We opened up the playbook and expanded our coverage. Listen daily in high definition on 98.1 HD2. We are 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, We've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All Star Toyota today.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Hey guys, this is Ryan Terrio with Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge, and you've got to come see us for the New Year's Certified Pre-Owned event. CPO vehicles come with an unlimited mileage warranty, and right now we're offering a 2-month payment credit up to $1,500, as well as 1.99% for 36 months on all eligible models. Check them out at mbobr.com or go see my guys Nick and Hess to take your new year up a gear. See dealer for complete details and exclusions. Qualified customers only. Subject to credit approval by NBFS. Must take delivery by March 1st, 2021.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast off.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Thursday's AFR, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, previewing Saints Bucks with Mike Detillier, and we'll recap LSU, Arkansas, and hoops. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Durian looks like it would produce the worst breath and worst farts you could imagine.
I mean, it just looks horrible.
It looks like a maggot.
This picture, yes.
Has
Musso pointed
anybody
out.
in the listening audience ever tried durian?
Daniel Basham says he bought some off of Sherwood and that it smells like fart puked into a trash can.
I would imagine that a lot of stuff bought off of Sherwood at this point smells like fart put into a trash bag.
Oh, my God, dude. Yeah, that is such an unappealing looking fruit. And it's fascinating, right? Because, like, okay, so it's an island. Island, right? The Philippines, I'm not dumb here. It's an island. You know, me geography, okay? I've said Germany's landlocked. Like, I've said some things that haven't always been accurate. So it is an island. Islands have interesting ecosystems a lot of time, right? Because they evolve in this weird, like, bubble environment. So I'm guessing this fruit evolved to be so unappealing so that, like, animals and stuff want to eat it, but humans are so stupid and you know, so resourceful and adaptable for that matter, that I guess the Filipinos, they just, like, were like, hey, man, it's food. We're hungry. We got to eat. And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, it's a staple of the diet. That just looks horrible. I mean, that looks like freshly baked bread. And it would look delicious if I knew it was yes. It would look delicious if I knew it was bread. But the fact that I know that is a fruity texture is freaking me out, man.
Well, I mean, the chef described it as scrambled egg texture. That is, imagine scrambled eggs growing off of trees.
That's like fruit that's gone bad. Like that texture is fruit
Yes,
that has gone
yes,
bad.
That's a good point. That's exactly what that's. I don't know, man. Is durian just the worst food in the world?
It might be.
Even visually, it's so unappealing. At least when Chef works up the Nutra, right? He's going to make it look a little better with the pulled pork. Well, then again, whatever. I guess we're looking at dead Nutra. Like we're looking at this open fruit. It's not going to look good either.
How bad does something that you put in your body have to be for a city like Chicago to have signs on the wall that if you've digested or if you've taken in durian, not to come on the premises of certain places?
Like you're not allowed inside.
You're not allowed in.
Let me check them pockets. I'm getting a pretty heavy stench here, guy. Let me see that smoothie popping open, just like throw it on the side of the road.
Who's got the
Get the hell
durian?
out of here.
Everybody up against the wall and spread them.
Wow,
man.
Not
Easy,
too wide.
easy. Yeah,
not
that's
too
easy,
wide.
easy.
Not too wide.
Might not want that to happen.
Sheesh.
Never doubt human beings' abilities to adapt. That is fascinating, man.
LSU basketball will be hosting South Carolina on Saturday. We'll talk to Coach Wade about the matchup.
Hell yeah. Brady Moran. I thought Germany was landlocked too. Thank you, okay? Thank you. I think a lot of people do.
Geography and time zones, not the strength of OTB.
No.
Guess
Off the
we
bench
killed.
with
Come back with us.
Colada and T-Bob.
Daily, we're brought to you by Ochsner Sports Medicine. Ochsner Sports Medicine is located in Baton Rouge, New Orleans, and in Covington. So no matter if where you are in the listening area, you can get to an Ochsner complex this morning, and all under one roof. They can get you back into the game, back into competition, whether you are an elite athlete, if you are a ancient athlete, if you are playing right now as a youth athlete and are a little banged up but need to get back in the game. Ochsner can do that for you. Online, ochsner.org. is where you can find all the information. Baton Rouge, Covington, and New Orleans.
Ochsner.org, Ochsner.org. If you want to get back to maximizing your health, right? Ochsner is the answer. And don't think, if I go to Ochsner, it's automatically means surgery. No, that is not the case. It automatically means you're going to get exactly what you need. They have the most cutting-edge non-surgical techniques to explore. If you do be operated on, the process, the personnel, the physical therapy facilities and personnel, it's all the best. Go to Ochsner.org today.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Hey guys, this is Ryan Terrio with Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge, and you've got to come see us for the New Year's Certified Pre-Owned event. CPO vehicles come with an unlimited mileage warranty, and right now we're offering a 2-month payment credit up to $1,500, as well as 1.99% for 36 months on all eligible models. Check them out at mbobr.com or go see my guys Nick and Hess to take your new year up a gear. See dealer for complete details and exclusions. Qualified customers only. Subject credit approval by NBFS. Must take delivery by March 1st, 2021.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. on Thursday, January the 14th. Today in Baton Rouge, sunny skies with a high of 68. If you missed hour one of the show, you can catch that up at the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com, brought to you by Carriages. Coming up next, LSU head basketball coach Will Wade stops by. Barstool Sports' Ben Mintz gives us a six-pack of winners at 8:15. The Athletics' Bruce Feldman stops by at 8:30. You can follow today's show on Twitter at OTB_ESPN. Watch live at the 1045 ESPN YouTube channel and get inside the Bayou 4 chat. While you're there, get subscribed to the Off the Bench and Off the Bench Overtime YouTube channels. Set your notifications. New content is posted there daily. Hour number 2 of OTB starts right now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
At hour 2 of the bench, 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge, driven and powered by All-Star Toyota. Hour 1 in the books. If you missed it, it's online, 1045ESPN.com. Chef Michael Johnson. Stick around, hour 2. We'll be joined by Will Wade, winner last night for LSU basketball as the Tigers improved to 9-2 overall, 4-1 in conference play. They'll host South Carolina on Saturday, Alabama in town next Tuesday night. Tigers looked good last night defensively. Watford had 23. Cam Thomas chipped in 17. Darius Days, 18 and 13. Ben Mintz going to stop by from Barstool Sports coming up here at 8:15. We'll get his picks for divisional round weekend in the NFL. 8:30, we'll talk to Bruce Feldman from The Athletic. Get the latest on the LSU defensive coordinator position as it remains vacant. LSU's head coach Ed Orgeron introduced his 2 new offensive minds yesterday in Jake Peets, his offensive coordinator, and DJ Mangus. We had some sound in hour 1. Let you hear from that. But last night, I was inside the Maravich Center. It's a nice crowd for the limitations set on the crowds here in 2021's college basketball season. But LSU rolled 92-76. Game was really never close. The difference was LSU's defense. You know they're going to score. LSU's one of the best offenses in the country, top 5 offense. But defensively last night, I told Coach Wade after the game, I think that was some of the best spurts, some of the best possessions we've seen his group play from just an overall intense, just involved, engaged in his bench last night. Man, I mean, this team looks like they are cohesive. They're put together, and they look like they're set for a run as they'll host South Carolina on Saturday. Coach Wade's with us here the morning after the victory as his team gets prepared for the Gamecocks. Coach, nice win last night. Good morning.
Good morning. How are we doing?
Doing okay.
Doing well.
I know you had a chance to watch the film. First off, did you guys hit all your goals?
Well, we hit 3 of the 5, so not bad. We missed our turnover goal, obviously, too much. We missed our defensive rebounding goal. We got to get that stuff cleaned up. Just what I talked about a little bit. Just in the second half, and ball over 12 times. As good as our offense is, we just got to get a shot on the basket, especially when Darius is offensive rebounding like that. We just got to get a shot on the basket.
All right, Coach, hold tight. I got Musso going to link back up with you, see if we can get you in a better cell area. You're kind of dipping in and out. But that's Will Wade talking about.
It's been a while.
No, we're good.
It's been a while. We're cool. You look chill.
Yep.
You look chill. I feel like it's all good. Everybody's in good mood. LSU basketball whooping Arkansas's ass last night. That was a bit of, like we said yesterday, that was a bit of a separation game. Who really belonged? If you were to rank, wait for Coach Wade. If you were to rank the SEC right now, obviously Alabama's up there, Tennessee's up there. Is LSU in that same triangle?
Absolutely. I got Tennessee.
Okay.
And then I got LSU right there. I got Florida in the mix.
Okay.
But Coach Wade's back with us. Defensively last night, what stood out to you? Somebody who has been teaching this and now seeing it on the floor in front of your face.
Well, I mean, I just thought our activity level, our energy level was really good. Our press is starting to work a little bit. 3-quarter court 2-2-1, the 1-3-1. We still got to get matched up a little bit quicker out of it. We gave up some open looks that they missed, but those are threes we don't necessarily mind giving up. But I thought our energy level was really good at the top. I thought Watford was good at the top of it. I thought LeBlanc was good. I thought Mwani did a really nice job. So we're just starting to get a hang of that, get a little bit better, a little bit more polished with our style of play, and hopefully we can continue making progress, continue moving forward with it.
I mentioned the offense, and it seems like, you guys are there every night. You guys going in are tops in the league, averaging 85 per game. What do you look for night in, night out of your offense? What do you demand night in, night out of your offense out of a unit that looks like it's so consistent that it produces for you game in, game out?
Well, this year we're a lot better 3-point shooting team than we've been, but basically the staples of our offense are get on the offensive glass and get to the free throw line. So we've been very good at those areas every year, whether shots go in or not. Last night we didn't cash in at the free throw line like we needed to. We were 17 of 24. And so we need to shoot a little bit better than that. But, we offensive rebounded 46% of our misses, which is going to get it done, any night of the year when you're rebounding basically 1 out of every 2 of your misses. So, I think those are really the staples of what we do is get to the free throw line, drive the ball, get that thing in the paint, force some rotation. I thought we did a nice job finishing last night. That was a big point of emphasis going in. They gave us fits last year at their place. We couldn't finish over Henderson. We couldn't finish around their guys last year. And we were 8 of 10 on layups last night, which was really nice to see. And so I thought we did a much better job kind of going at their bigger guys and being able to finish around the rim than we did last year, than we had been doing. We put a lot of emphasis on finishing the last week or two in practice, just because I don't think we've done as good a job around the basket, and I thought we did that last night.
And Coach, pardon me, because there may be some crossover between these two answers, but I said this to start the show. I'm a basketball fan. I watch, I cheer. I'm not an analyst, right? So a lot of times I just got to frame things through numbers. And when I was looking at the numbers, right, I see in the SEC right now, 3 of the top 5 players in field goal percentage in the league are Darius Days, Trendon Watford, and Javonte Smart. The team as a whole is first in the SEC, shooting 49% from the field. We talked about efficiency yesterday with Coach John Brady. How are y'all able to be this efficient? How are you pulling that off?
Well, we take, a lot of it, we get good matchups and we shoot on the matchups that we get. We try to, our offense is based on, moving it a little bit, manipulating some matchups, and letting recruiting take over is what I always say. So I tell our guys all the time we're watching film, once we get this switch and once this happens, this is where recruiting takes over. You better be better than the guy we got switched on to you. And, so, a lot of it's just manipulating the matchup, being able to get in there. But you got somebody like Watford who finishes well around the rim. Day shot 100% from 2 last night and shooting over 70% for his career.
Wow.
From 2. You got somebody like Mwani who shoots an unbelievably high percentage. He never takes a bad shot. He always is going to be around the ball, always around the rim, and always finishing. And then Javonte with how he's shooting it from 3, and then his finishing. He's almost doubled his finishing from last year in terms of the percentile he's in terms of finishing in the paint, finishing around the rim. He's getting his shoulder square. We spent a bunch of time on that in the offseason. We watched every finish and went through what we can do better, what he can do better. And he's really taken that. So it's a combination. It's a combination of all that, and we got really, really talented and very, very good offensive players.
And, excuse me. And last night, Coach, obviously Cam Thomas not 100%. Still, though, toughing it out, playing for the team. But the scoring a little more spread out last night, right? All the starters entering double digits. Are y'all at your best when it is a little more spread amongst everybody instead of as centralized?
Well, I mean, we can beat you a lot of different ways. We've done it with, him scoring 30 and him scoring 15. I mean, it's just, or 17, whatever. It's just the way it is. But he did. You talk about having efficient offense. He ran the foul count up last night. They fouled 20 times. He drew 8 of them.
Wow.
He drew almost half their fouls. And, everybody benefits from that. Obviously, he made some free throws from it, but Gaines gets to the line for a 1-and-1 because he had drawn 3 fouls. Everybody benefits when you're running the foul count up and drawing fouls and making things happen. So, it's a team effort. We got plenty of weapons, plenty of guys that can that can beat you a lot of different ways.
You mentioned Gaines, and each game you look down now on the stat sheet, he's getting more minutes, he's getting more points, more assists, he's affecting the game a little bit more each time out. What have you made from your freshman?
Yeah, we love him. I think I've been pretty much on record with that since September probably. But he's just he's continued to find his way, continue to get a little better. He got a little banged up yesterday on his hip, so hopefully he'll be all right. He's getting some treatment after the game, and we'll see where things are a little bit later on this morning. But he's a talented guy. He's wiry, he's athletic. When him and LeBlanc come in, they're our first 2 guys off the bench. When those guys come in, they just bring an energy and an activity level to our defense that ramps us up even another notch. You always want energy coming off your bench. You want positive energy, good energy coming off your bench, and those guys bring it. And it's a big help for our team.
You got an expectation on Sharif? Expecting back?
Well, we got a good report from the doctor last night. He's been running. I don't think he'll be able to play against South Carolina. I think he could probably play the midweek game next week. I think he'll probably be able to play the midweek game next week, maybe in a limit, under a restriction or whatnot. But we got a pretty positive report last night.
I know you
can continue keep it monitored and keep it moving.
You graded the film on Arkansas last night. Have you had a chance to peek ahead to the Gamecocks? What are the challenges they present on Saturday?
Well, I was watching a little bit. I've watched about a half of their Texas A&M game, but typical team. I mean, typical Frank Martin team. They're physical. One of the most physical teams will play. They beat you up on the offensive glass, so defensive rebounding is going to be a huge issue, which is not one of our fortes. And then defensively, we've got to be able to move the ball against their defense. You're not going to be able to run a bunch of plays. You're not going to be able to run a bunch of sets. They just take you out of all that. And we've got to be able to drive the ball and drive and finish and play through contact. If we can do that, they'll foul us. But if not, it's going to be a long night where we're settling and giving into their defense. We got to really do a good job valuing the ball. They're top 10 in the country in turnover rate. So we got to do a good job of valuing the ball, and then we got to keep them off the offensive glass.
Arkansas was averaging 88. They came in last night, were beat down 92-76. The Tigers will take on South Carolina on Saturday. LSU is 9-2. He's sitting at top of the league at 4-1 going into that matchup. Nice win last night, Coach. We'll talk again soon.
Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
Yes,
sir. Boot up.
There he is, Will Wade, checking in from LSU basketball. We'll be back with more Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Jordy Cullata and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Donaldsonville Glass and Body. Remember, if you're in an accident today and you need collision repair, Donaldsonville Glass and Body ready to help, ready to make that happen for you. They remind you that it is up to you at an accident site where your vehicle can be moved to and who tows that vehicle. Donaldsonville Glass and Body can take care of all that. They got 24-hour towing. Nick Frederick and the team can get to the accident site, pick up the vehicle, take it back to 415 Division Street out in Donaldsonville, Louisiana, make the repair, and then they'll come drop it back off to you. They believe in customer service, man. That's what they practice and preach every single day. That's why they've been open for more than 40 years. Online, dgbauto.com.
Yeah, so the towing portion of what Jordy's talking about there is completely free. Let's reinforce that, right? So the insurance company cannot tell you where to go. The police cannot tell you who gets to tow. The answer to both is Donaldsonville Glass and Body. You can find them on Facebook at Donaldsonville Glass and Body. Go to dgbauto.com or call them up. Go to Donaldsonville Glass and Body for all your car needs. I've been going for years. They do it all. They're the best. DonaldsonvilleGlassandBody.com.
It's the divisional round in the NFL playoffs. Our coverage starts Saturday at 3:35 when the Packers host the Rams, followed by Bills-Ravens at 7:15. Then Sunday, the Chiefs host the Browns at 2:05, followed by the Saints-Buccaneers at 5:40. The NFL lives on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Hey guys, this is Ryan Terrio with Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge, and you've got to come see us for the New Year's Certified Pre-Owned event. CPO vehicles come with an unlimited mileage warranty, and right now we're offering a 2-month payment credit up to $1,500, as well as 1.99% for 36 months on all eligible models. Check them out at mbobr.com or go see my guys Nick and Hess to take your new year up a gear. See dealer for complete details and exclusions. Qualified customers only. Subject credit approval by NBFS. Must take delivery by March 1st, 2021.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Join us for a Thursday edition of Jimmy Yacht's Game Time, live from Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. LSU basketball gets a win last night, and we continue to break down Saints-Bucks in the Superdome on Sunday. Come out and see us or tune in at 6 p.m. on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Failure happens to us all, but it's how champions evolve.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, good stuff from Will Wade there as LSU basketball with a nice win last night over Arkansas, looking towards Saturday's matchup between South Carolina. Nice little preview there from the head coach. If you missed it, it's online, 1045ESPN.com. Appreciate Barstool Mintz for bumping back a couple of minutes with us here on OTB. Every Thursday, we link up with the man from Barstool Sports, who is doing great work up there in the Northeast. Gives us our six-pack of winners. It's divisional round weekend in the NFL, so we'll see what the selections are. Probably don't have a six-pack for you this weekend, but we should have some winners to hand out. Mitzi, good morning. How are you?
Doing good, man. And Jordy, just a big win for LSU basketball last night. Glad to see Cam Thomas out there. And I mean, 9-2, got a lot of momentum. They got a fun offensive a lot of offensive firepower this year.
If they can hover around the top 5 in the country offensively, which is where they've been since the start of the season, and crack the top 100 defensively, which I think they woke up this morning at 101. I think they bounced up 17 spots. If they can have a top 5 offense and a top 80 defense, they could be tough. They showed that last night. Mintzy, how you feeling about this weekend on the NFL?
Man, excited about it. I can't remember for a non-NFC championship game or Super Bowl, I can't remember a playoff game I've ever been more excited for in a divisional round than the Saints-Bucks game, man. This game has it all with Breeze and Brady. And you're hearing all the just cliches in the media, how hard it is to beat a team 3 times, all this stuff. But, man, the Saints completely owned Tampa so far this year, outscoring them 72-23 in 2 meetings. It's obviously a different season in the postseason, but I think rumors of the Saints' demise may be a little exaggerated here.
What do you think about the number on this game? Is it Saints -3 with the 58 being the total? What do you think of that when you saw that from Vegas?
Well, it opened at 3.5, and then the Tom Brady money came in, and it went down to 3. I'm seeing the total at 52. But one thing on the total, what's interesting is the Saints have been playing a lot of unders in playoff games the last few years. It just seems like in the playoffs, we saw it again last week in the 21-9 win over the Bears, but the last few years, I mean, the Vikings game last year, the Vikings game a couple of years ago, they beat Philly 21-14, the Rams NFC Championship. It seems like the Saints kind of play lower-scoring games in January, so I'm kind of looking at that too.
Yeah, it's something that we're going to explore a little later in the show. We talk about Sunday's matchup. But, Mintzy, before we get into your picks, man, how happy were the bosses when you were the plug for $100,000 donation to the Barstool Fund?
Man, pretty incredible, but I think the man who deserves a lot of credit also is the one you're sitting next to, because Jordy helped make all that happen behind the scenes too. And, man, just awesome. Brandon Landry and walk-ons, which have been such a successful, sports bistro. Starting out of Baton Rouge, there's 47 locations now around the country, especially big in the South. And, to be that successful and still, see the need to give back to the greater good during a worldwide pandemic is everything you need to know about those guys. And, yeah, it was a lot of fun, too, because I've been kind of trying to do some stuff helping the Barstool Fund behind the scenes. And, nothing like getting $100K there. And I was really pumped to get to go tell Dave Portnoy and Erica about it. And they were super excited. And, just the great people, Louisiana people are generous, man. We got good people down there. And love seeing that on the big stage.
Mintz, catch our listeners up on the Barstool Fund, because I did a little research after you and I connected with walk-ons, and man, what an incredible idea. What an incredible idea to put into motion, and then to be able to execute on the level that Barstool Sports has executed this thing. And now to see Brandon Landry, I saw Aaron Rodgers chipped in $500,000. Yeah. I mean, just the support that this thing is getting. Catch our listeners up on kind of what it is and how it works.
Well, Marcus Lemonis is a big CEO, actually called Dave out publicly. Then Marcus Lemonis donated $500K or something to help small businesses, and he called Dave out publicly, and Dave said, I'll do it too. And it just kind of started out of that a few weeks ago, before Christmas and the holidays. And, man, Dave Portnoy and Erica Nardini spent their entire, holidays just doing nothing but working hard on this Barstool Fund to help small businesses. And like you mentioned, Aaron Rodgers involved, Kid Rock involved, Guy Fieri, Tom Brady, a lot of big names have supported it. And I believe it's over 23. Last I saw was, I think, $23,200,000 to help save small business in America. And, man, if you have any kind of a heart, follow the Barstool Fund on Twitter. But Dave, you get to see the videos of Dave calling these business owners, telling them he's helping save their business. And, man, I mean, it's just on an emotional human level. There's been a lot of suffering and struggle with the 2020 worldwide pandemic. And it's just so heartwarming to see, Dave using this platform to give back to the greater good. And, man, I'm just a very small, tiny part of the engine, but it's very inspiring to be around.
Yeah, and as Avo Marzawanian points out inside the Bayou Ford chat app, Portnoy's been teasing a huge donation from Elon Musk that possibly could be coming through in the short term here. All right, Mintzy, get back to our picks for this weekend. Did we get a pick? So do you like? Did you give either way?
Mintzy, he gave picks last week, but Mintzy don't like the playoffs, man. Just look at the degeneration dome.
Yeah, had a rough. Didn't do the best. Man, I got killed in playoffs last year too. But we're gonna right the ship here this week, and I want to start talking about the first game. This Rams at Packers matchup is very interesting. Obviously for Saints fans too. I have trouble seeing Jared Goff do well with his thumb injury in the cold weather in Lambeau. I'm just having a hard time picturing this. I do kind of like the under in this game. I believe last I saw it was a 45.5. The home teams, there's an interesting stat. The teams that get first-round buys cover and do well like crazy in the second round. And, I mean, it makes sense. You know, at the end of a long season, you're healthy, you're rested, all that. And the Rams, Aaron Donald is going to go. He hurt his ribs in the last game, but they're banged up. Also have questions about Goff, like I said, in the cold. He's already struggling a ton, and it's cold. So I'm on Green Bay and the under in this game. I think that's kind of the way I'm looking. I think the Rams' only chance for it to be low scoring with the way their offense is playing.
What's the number, Mintz?
Green Bay is 6.5, and I believe the total I saw was like 45, 44.5, somewhere in there.
All right.
So Green Bay minus 6.5 and under the 45. Where would you next?
The second Saturday game, this one I don't have a clue what's going to happen in the Baltimore-Buffalo game. This is an unbelievable matchup. Buffalo's a 2.5-point favorite. Baltimore's coming in. You always see this in the NFL. The Chiefs for this team last year, it's like the team that goes through some struggles mid-season and turns it on late. Man, Baltimore's 8-2 in their last 10 against the spread. Buffalo's 8-2 in their last 10 against the spread. Both pulled out close games last week. But, man, Baltimore seems like, last year they were the 1 seed. They'd won 11 in a row, and Tennessee upset them. Seems like they're more in the dark horse role this year. And they're playing exceptionally well down the stretch. But you got to give credit to Buffalo pulling that game out last week. They did kind of leave the door open there for Indy, but they were able to pull it out late. I mean, I honestly, I'd be lying. I don't have a strong opinion on the Baltimore-Buffalo game. I think it's the hardest game to pick. What a good quarterback matchup, though, with Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. Yeah. I do think Baltimore's offense matches up pretty well. Buffalo's pass defense has been exceptional the last few years, but if you're going to beat them, I think running the ball is the way to do it, and I think Baltimore can do that. But, man, I don't know. I don't want to go against Buffalo here, and I've been rocking my Trey White Goalie Academy shirt up here, too. People have been loving it.
Yeah, Ben, to your point, I read yesterday that in Buffalo's 3 losses, they gave up an average of 200 yards rushing in those 3 games. So there is a bit of a common denominator there that Baltimore would maybe be well-placed to take advantage of. What do you? How do you feel about your Titans last week, man? Have you recovered?
Yeah, well, I mean, kind of, T-Bob, it was a little bit of a, what kind of the stuff you were saying about Tannehill did come out a little bit in that game. And that, I've said this before, and I'll continue to say, they win when they run the ball with Henry and rely on the play-action game, and he's pretty mobile. But when you can make him just beat you by himself, I'm not sure he's that guy. And I think Baltimore exposed that. I really didn't like how they went away from A.J. Brown after he had 3 catches, 52 yards, and a touchdown in that opening drive. He didn't get another target until the third quarter. But, I got to say Baltimore definitely was the better team. And, big win for the Ravens. And Tannehill still had a really good year. But, if you could stop – it's very hard to stop Derrick Henry. He had 2,000 yards. But you're able to make them one-dimensional, it definitely is a problem for them.
So Ravens-Bills has a couple of 24-year-old quarterbacks. Browns-Chiefs, a couple of 25-year-old quarterbacks. You got any thoughts on Browns-Chiefs?
Man, I know this. I think the history of this matchup with Mahomes and Mayfield, do you remember the Oklahoma-Texas Tech game when Mahomes threw for 820 yards in a college football game?
Wait, what?
And they lost?
In one game?
Oh, yeah. Oklahoma and Texas Tech played Mayfield Mahomes. I think it was like 77. It was like 77-63 Oklahoma. Mahomes literally threw for 820 yards in a football game, and they lost.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
The history of this. So just going off that history
That's a
alone,
Cliff Kingsbury special right there, brother.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, you got to see this game, dude. It's unbelievable. But man, just knowing that, I know playoff football, I generally like unders more because I think points are harder to come by, but I don't bet unders in Patrick Mahomes, Baker Mayfield matchups. Yeah. Cleveland's been playing shootouts lately, too. So even though the total's high and this one's 56, I still lean over. I don't have an opinion on the spread. KC tends a ton, but points shouldn't – there are going to be a lot of points scored in this game. So that part of it, it's kind of one of those games where if Cleveland jumps up 7 or 14 nothing early because KC's known to get behind, I might look at KC on the live line, but I'm just going to take the over on here.
Is it going to snow? in 3 out of the 4 games? I mean, is it going to snow KC, Buffalo, Green Bay? Obviously not New Orleans, but, I mean, are we expecting snow in all 3 of the games?
Buffalo's a
outside of New Orleans?
40% chance for Saturday night. That's the only one I know for sure because Lamar Jackson's never played in snow before.
I mean, I got to just think mid-January in all 3 of those cities going to be freezing.
Yeah, no, it's yes. You're seeing some of the value. Like the 2 seed is not what it once was, but if you play outdoors, there actually is a little added value to your 2 seed. Because, I mean, just look at Buffalo. Okay, Mintz, I brought up the stats from that game you were just referencing. Both teams, their total yards for the game, both teams on the dot, 854 yards apiece. The exact same.
Are you kidding?
No, final score 66-59. Oklahoma wins. Texas Tech was 20 of 25 on third down. Here's Pat Mahomes' numbers from the day. He threw for 734 yards, 5 touchdowns. He rushed for 85 yards and 2 touchdowns. So Pat Mahomes alone accounted for about 810 yards and 7 touchdowns. Baker on the other side of the equation threw for 550 and 7 touchdowns with no picks. What?
That is a video game.
That's the wildest box score I've ever seen in my entire life.
Give me 60 seconds on Urban Meyer to the Jaguars. It looks like this is going to happen today. What are your thoughts on that?
Man, I got to admire Shavon Khan, their owner, spending the money and doing everything he can to try to make it happen. It's an interesting pairing, Urban Meyer and Trevor Lawrence. You know, you definitely talk about like opposite ends of the spectrum, maybe going from Dabo to Urban Meyer.
Yeah.
But look, I love it. Look, I've always wanted to see what Urban Meyer can do in the NFL. Because I mean, I know he's a college guy, but man, he's one of the most successful coaches ever. And he always kind of burns himself out after 4 or 5 years someplace. So I think it's fascinating, and it's a lot better than Jacksonville going with some coordinator they don't know about, and it'll bring a name brand to him too, and just especially getting Trevor Lawrence, the new day for that franchise. So, look, I'm all for it, and I can't wait to follow it.
At Barstool Mintz, hit up the Barstool Fund. They're doing great work up there in the Northeast. Proud of you, bro. Thank you, man. We'll talk soon.
Yeah, sounds good. Anybody that wants to know about the Barstool Fund stuff, go to barstoolfund.com, or my DMs are open on my Twitter or Instagram. And so anybody that wants to know any more, feel free to DM me anytime. And thank y'all for having me on OTB as always. Let's go black and gold.
Let's do it, baby.
I'm the live stream with Stephen Shea for Barstool on Sunday, and that's going to be a lot of fun.
Ladies, the DMs are open over at Mintz's Twitter.
Yeah, so Pat Mahomes was
later, buddy.
52 of 88 in that game. Here's what's crazy about Baker's stat line. So he throws for 545 and 7 TDs. He only attempted 36 passes. So, like, I mean,
efficient, huh?
That's almost a 20 yards.
I mean,
that's almost 20 yards per
stuff.
attempt. Somebody here, let me do the math real quick. Oh my God, I've never.
Bruce Feldman next.
Off the bench with Kalata and T-Bob.
Brought to you daily by Go Roof, online at GEAUXroof.com. Remember, get in touch with Go Roof today for a free quote this morning. You can find that free quote by dialing up Go Roof. Get in touch with them. Very easy. All the contact information online, or dial them up at 927-8300. That is residential, commercial roofing, and even if you need repairs, get in touch with Go Roof, online, GEAUXroof.com.
Yeah, that's 15 yards per attempt on 36 passes, which I can't really wrap my head around. I also struggle to wrap my head around how solid Go Roof is and how good they are. How could a company be so strong in so many different areas, right? Look, you call 927-8300. First, you're going to get a free professional estimate. Everybody's licensed, bonded, and insured. You're going to get an idea of what it's like to work with Go Roof, the professionalism they're in, and then you make a fully informed decision. How about a 2-year workmanship guarantee on top of the manufacturer warranty? Jordy, what do you get when you work with Go Roof?
A beautiful new roof every single time.
Roofsa!
Saints coverage, Chiefs, Cowboys, Thursday night, Sunday night, and Monday Night Football. From the opening kickoff to the playoffs and the Super Bowl, the NFL lives on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Hey guys, this is Ryan Terrio with Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge, and you've got to come see us for the New Year's Certified Pre-Owned event. CPO vehicles come with an unlimited mileage warranty, and right now we're offering a 2-month payment credit up to $1,500, as well as 1.99% for 36 months on all eligible models. Check them out at mbobr.com or go see my guys Nick and Hess to take your new year up a gear. See dealer for complete details and exclusions. Qualified customers only. Subject to credit approval by NBFS. Must take delivery by March 1st, 2021.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Thursday's AFR, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, previewing Saints Bucks with Mike Detillier, and we'll recap LSU Arkansas and hoops. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
We always appreciate Coach Ed Orgeron's time every Tuesday here on Off the Bench, as he is always very gracious with his time and always giving us good knowledge. But if you want to keep up with LSU football, there's no better insider than Bruce Feldman. Feldman's got great relationships inside the program. Him and Orgeron share a great relationship. In fact, the book, Flipping the Script, that came out just before the season is still available, that you can find and find on Bruce Feldman's Twitter account. In fact, if you want to get directly to it, at Bruce Feldman CFB.
It's kind of crazy because O had to quite literally flip the script again mid-season. And as we said, O maybe didn't handle success the best, but there is no one better when the back's against the wall at coming out and figuring out a way to right the ship.
Bruce, good morning. How are you?
Good, guys. Good to be on with you.
Always good to have you back on, man. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you guys. Thank you.
Absolutely. Let's get to a couple of hires before we talk about the vacancies at LSU football. What did you make of Jake Peetz being named LSU's offensive coordinator, with DJ Mangus, who was here during the 2019 championship season working as an understudy to Joe Brady, coming back as the passing game coordinator? That was announced yesterday by Orgeron.
Yeah, I think as everybody knows, he is looking for maybe not the exact same as Joe Brady, because everybody's different, but I think he knew where what he was looking for offensively. And Jake Peetz is a guy who a lot of people around football, not just in the NFL, think really highly of. I know that when Peetz and DJ went there to meet with Orgeron a week ago, that he was really impressed by him. And I think people kind of saw a little bit of that yesterday in his introductory press conference. And obviously DJ had been there. I mean, he knows Joe Brady better than anybody in football. I think, now the key parts are to get alignment in terms of having the players jump into that system. I think I think with the national title team from a year and a half ago, what you had was a lot of factors came together at once. It wasn't just Joe Brady. It was Joe Burrow. It was the great receivers. I mean, you got how Clyde fit into that. I think there was a lot of parts come together, but it's going to be interesting to see how this goes forward. I mean, I've heard a lot of good things about Jake Peets for actually a long time, and so we'll see how he is as a play caller. I think he knows this is a huge opportunity for them, and I think the timing is actually really good because that offense was actually pretty potent by the end of the year, despite having only really at that point one returning starter and true freshman quarterback. I mean, that's the fact that they did what they did, late in the year was kind of impressive.
Yeah, it's a very attractive depth chart if you're looking at from a leadership standpoint of what the production was at the end of the year to what you have going in to the spring. How about on the other side of the ball? He was here 2 weeks ago and said that he had both of his top targets in town. That ended up being Peets and Mangus, and then Marcus Freeman was in Baton Rouge last Thursday. It looks like they made a really nice pitch to Freeman, and Freeman thought about it for a long time. It ended up going to Notre Dame. As you reported, they talked to Zach Arnett last week, but they are very much taking their time on filling this defensive coordinator position. What are you hearing that they want to do there?
Right now, I think what he wants to be very confident of is, do I have a guy who I feel like has a lot of presence to him, can relate to the players, can develop players, and really connect. And I think, Marcus Freeman, I think was a really impressive when he went down there, and I think that was one where it was like, man, I know he really liked that defense when he watched them in the bowl game, and they were shorthanded when they played in the bowl game. But I think going forward, I really, and I think he said this on your show yesterday, I've heard him say this before, whether it's a 3-man front, a 4-man front, I think he wants to see, schemes are going to vary at times of what you do. I think it is, who do we feel like can be a presence in there and connect with our players and can develop players. And I know he has some guys in mind. I think the question is going to be, how does this stuff sort itself out? I mean, they're also not the only Notre Dame's job is filled, but, on the defensive side of the ball, Michigan's got to hire a defensive coordinator. I think Mario Cristobal and Oregon are probably going to be looking at some of the same, maybe not all, but some of the same guys that LSU is going to look at. So it's going to be very interesting to see who they end up getting as the defensive coordinator.
One name that kind of keeps cropping up, it popped up at the beginning, kind of faded to the background. Now it seems like it's back at the fore, is Saints defensive line coach Ryan Nielsen. Obviously, they have a long relationship together, Drew O and Nielsen. Have you heard anything on that front?
Nothing really firm. I've heard speculation. I think, I have known Ryan for a long time. I was around him when I worked on Meat Market. Yeah. He was a young defensive line coach in the SEC. Saw what he did at NC State, which was pretty remarkable. I think the first story I did on The Athletic was about the kind of unknown group of D linemen that he developed into NFL players. And one, Bradley Chubb, was a first-round pick. So I know Ed knows how good of a coach he has developed into, and obviously they got a really good thing in the Saints. I mean, just from knowing Ryan, I know he really loves where he's at. I don't, but at the same time, if it was presented that way, I mean, you're talking about a defense. Just look at it on paper here. I'm at a defense that was basically the worst in the country statistically, and whoever takes this over, you're going to look probably pretty good, even if you don't, completely flip it. I mean, in terms of, you're like 125th in the country on defense. You're going to inherit the most athletic, talented tandem of cornerbacks in all of college football. Yeah. You got the whole defensive line back. Yeah. I don't think, honestly, and maybe this is not being fair to coaching, but I don't think it would take all that much. You just basically get buy-in and get players and get things communicated. Obviously, easier said than done. And you'll go from 125th to probably, with some of the talent you have, into the top 50 statistically. So I think it's going to be really attractive from that point. And I think, the question's going to be, what does LSU ultimately want? And then, what does Ryan Nielsen feel like is the best fit if it's if he ends up being the focus of this.
Yeah, what Pelini did last year, it's kind of like Anchorman, where Baxter eats the entire wheel of cheese. At a certain point, you're not even mad. You're just impressed. It's impressed with how bad he managed to make that LSU defense. Okay, so chat's yelling at me, Bruce. I got to ask you, everybody, Glenn Schumann from Georgia is a name that our listeners have been bringing up constantly lately. Any news on that front?
Not that I've heard. I mean, I wouldn't also be surprised if he's somebody who's looked at for some other DC jobs, as I mentioned before as well. I really don't know. I mean, I'll be perfectly honest. That's a name I've heard, just like, I've heard Nielsen's name.
Yeah.
I mean, but right now, the ones I knew that Jack Arnett was going in there. I knew they had a good meeting. I also knew that he wasn't going to get offered the job by the time he left there. Obviously, we know about Marcus Freeman. At this point, I really don't know. I mean, I don't think LSU and Orgeron I don't think he does it quite the way what we're going to see maybe from like Oregon, where there's going to be a bunch of guys circling in and out, whether they're on Zooms or not. I don't know if this one is, I think there's going to be certain guys that at Orgeron's going to go, what, that's not what I see as my defensive line guy. I don't know where Schumann would be in that mix, to be perfectly honest.
You worked with Urban over at Fox Sports. It looks like he's going to take an NFL job this morning with Jacksonville. What do you make of that move?
I'm going to be really curious to see how it plays out. I'll be honest. Like, for a while, I would say probably the last week, I was about 70-30 thinking he was going to leave. But I also felt like there was a chance he could back out and not end up taking it, right? I know this, that a year ago he went with, he was on the field when Ohio State played Clemson the year LSU won the title a year ago. And he was wowed by what he saw athletically from Trevor Lawrence to eyeball in person. I think that really, really impressed him. That didn't mean, I'm going to take the job because I've got him. But, I know he knows the cons, the people in charge of the Jaguars, and I think there's a really good relationship there. The thing I've always felt with Urban is he may feel adamantly about something, really strongly about something on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday he could go 180 degrees from that and just think, I'm not doing that, and just kind of see it from the complete opposite side. So we'll see. I mean, I didn't think the Chargers, I knew that the Chargers had some interest in him. I didn't think he was going to go there. I just didn't see him, saying, hey, I'm going to, move, me and my wife are going to move to Southern California. I don't know. And I could be wrong on that. Those are just hunches. I think it's very real that Urban was really into TV and has been really into our show. I see it in the meetings. I see how he is not just on the show, but in our calls and meetings. So, I'm curious because I work with him in the fall, but I'm curious just knowing also this is not a guy who handles losing. I mean, all competitive coaches don't handle losing well. He handles it it eats him up more than it eats up anybody I've ever seen. And so when you go to the NFL, you're going to lose a lot. Bill Belichick is the greatest football coach the NFL has ever seen. He didn't make the playoffs this year. Yeah. You go to whatever job Urban Meyer has, he is going to face losing like he has never dealt with before. And that'll be interesting to see if he in fact takes it, how he deals with it.
He is a New York Times best-selling author. He is the reason why T-Bob and I have a membership and a subscription to The Athletic. He's a writer over there. You can also catch him on Fox Sports, and he's the author of his brand new book, Flip the Script, which is about LSU football and Ed Orgeron. He's our friend, Bruce Feldman. We appreciate the time. We'll talk again soon.
Always a pleasure, guys. Thanks for having me.
There he is.
Thanks, Bruce.
Bruce Feldman checking in this morning with a little insight on LSU and college football. We'll close that hour 2 next.
Off the Bench with Colada and T-Bob.
Daily, we're brought to you here on Off the Bench every single day.
Every single day.
On OTB.
Here on OTB.
AccuTemp.
Yep.
AccuTempBR.com. Take control of your comfort zone. I did it, and I would not do it with anybody else other than AccuTemp. They're the best. AC, heating, electrical, you need it. AccuTemp can help you today. They're online, AccuTempBR.com. Once you log online, you will see all the customer service perks pop up right in front of your face. You can talk to somebody right there on text that can diagnose what the problem is, what your issue is. Get online right now and find out for yourself. AccuTempBR.com.
And how about this? Buy one AC unit and get a furnace for free. 0% interest and 0 payments for 6 months. Look, that's just one of many great deals, but really it's all about the customer service at AccuTemp. Go to AccuTempBR.com today and figure out why. Over 1,200 Google reviews. They have a 4.9 rating. You will not have a better HVAC experience. I guarantee it. AccuTempBR.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
$14,000 off MSRP on a new 2020 Ford Expedition XLT. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty, and with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Hey, T-Bob, sports wouldn't be the same without the die-hard fans, so we're highlighting the fans that do it the most.
Every week, 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge brings you the Citizens Bank Fan of the Week. Check it out, 1045ESPN.com.
It's the Citizens Bank Fan of the Week.
Hey guys, this is Ryan Terrio with Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge, and you've got to come see us for the New Year's Certified Pre-Owned event. CPO vehicles come with an unlimited mileage warranty, and right now we're offering a 2-month payment credit up to $1,500, as well as 1.99% for 36 months on all eligible models. Check them out at mbobr.com or go see my guys Nick and Hess to take your new year up a gear. See dealer for complete details and exclusions. Qualified customers only, subject to credit approval by NBFS. Must take delivery by March 1st, 2021.
Join us for a Thursday edition of Jimmy Ott's Game Time, live from Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. LSU basketball gets a win last night, and we continue to break down Saints Bucks in the Superdome on Sunday. Come out and see us or tune in at 6 p.m. on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Tell them that's what we ready for. War. Tell them that's what we ready for. War. Bringing that to competitors. Do we see the confetti fall? Be ready for war.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, quick segment to close out hour 2 here before OTB OT. T-Bob will jump into the Saints and to the Bucks matchup as the divisional round is set up this weekend. Mincy was here a couple of segments ago giving us some winners to look out for. Bruce Feldman, last segment, giving us some insight on LSU football's defensive coordinator search and where they may land. Also, the latest on Urban Meyer, which that looks like that is imminent. Looks like it's going to happen, that Jacksonville and Urban Meyer, former championship-winning head coach both at Ohio State and two-time national champ with the Florida Gators, Urban Meyer, is going to land in Jacksonville and own the number 1 overall pick. As you heard Feldman there, a co-worker of Urban Meyer's with Fox Sports, talk about last year watching Trevor Lawrence up close in that LSU Clemson national championship down in New Orleans, and Meyer making a couple of comments about the athleticism of Lawrence. Now it looks like you'll have the chance to coach him at the pro level as Meyer and the Jacksonville Jaguars are working close to finalizing a deal.
Yeah, somebody asked if it means that Justin Fields would be in play. No, I don't know. Like you don't pass up the Trevor Lawrence. Like regardless of what you may think about him and how he performed in some of the bigger games the last couple of years, it's like especially with the success of Justin Herbert and Josh Allen, right? There's sometimes a guy just has physical traits that you cannot get away from, and Trevor Lawrence has. He has all of those physical traits. Yeah, it will be Lawrence and Meyer in Jacksonville, and way to go, Jets! You screwed it up. But yeah, I what do you think? You think he'll be a good NFL coach?
I kind of do. You know, I don't think that he's going to be. I mean, I don't think he'll be Belichick.
I feel like a lot of people aren't really giving him credit for being that smart when I
agree.
You know, like can he handle the losses? Like, you don't think Urban Meyer realizes that you lose in the NFL? Yeah. Like, what, you think he thinks he's just going to roll in and go like 15-0 or like he knows it's not recruiting. He knows it's a different game. Like, you have to at least give him that benefit of the doubt.
And you know, offensively, he's going to be progressive, right?
Yes.
I mean, he's going to play in today what is popular by NFL standards.
And with Lawrence, he has a quarterback that can do it.
I don't hate it. You know what I mean? I kind of think it's going to work.
Look, it's the implication. Once you get on Shad Khan's boat, there's no leaving.
Not without a job. Hour 3 next.
Off the bench with Kalana and T-Bob.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Service Master Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Master Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Master Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
Hey guys, this is Ryan Terrio with Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge, and you've got to come see us for the New Year's Certified Pre-Owned event. CPO vehicles come with an unlimited mileage warranty, and right now we're offering a 2-month payment credit up to $1,500, as well as 1.99% for 36 months on all eligible models. Check them out at mbobr.com or go see my guys Nick and Hess to take your new year up a gear. See dealer for complete details and exclusions. Qualified customers only. Subject credit approval by NBFS. Must take delivery by March 1st, 2021.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
From Cordell Opelousas. You can get into a new Camry for $335 a month with only $2,000 down, or choose from our pre-owned selection. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
$14,000 off MSRP on a new 2020 Ford Expedition XLT. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. And with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Good morning. It's 9 a.m. on Thursday, January the 14th. Today in Baton Rouge, sunny skies with a high of 68. If you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, catch those up at the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. Brought to you by Carriages. Follow today's show on Twitter at OTB_ESPN. Watch live at the 1045 ESPN YouTube channel and interact inside the Bayou Ford chat. Make sure you get subscribed to the Off the Bench and Off the Bench Overtime YouTube channels. Set your notifications. New content is posted there daily. OTBOT starts right now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back. OTBOT starting up now. T-Bob, Musso, and Danny hanging out with you for one more hour. Still got Alabama fans in my mention yelling at me about how much fun they have. Linking me articles about how they set new records for the amount of merchandise bought after this year. We're not tired of it yet.
That's when you know.
It's fine. You know who is tired of it? Everyone else.
When you're buying the merch, T.
Everyone else.
That's fun.
Is tired of it. Or like a professional athlete shows up to the kickball league, won't drink a sip of alcohol, no fun allowed. The guy who like yells at you. I'll never forget it. One time I was playing kickball. I'm not a big intramural guy. I'm playing kickball. I'm chilling. I'm drinking. I'm trying to have a good time. I threw some guy out and he got in my face. He was yelling at me. What are you doing? That's you, Alabama. You're ruining everybody's good time. It's why you just helped to create the lowest rated national championship ever. Or at least in the playoff era. Whereas what did LSU do? The highest rated national championship ever. What a miserable lot, you gumps. Miserable. And you're ruining college football. No exaggeration. No exaggeration. Who wants to watch that? Nobody. Coming up this hour on the program, I want to talk about a few things. And again, answer me this. If you're an Alabama fan out there, did you have as fun of a moment as did an LSU fan this season during that Florida game or during that Ole Miss game? I mean, I get it. Look, absolutely. You did not experience the lows of LSU fans because you have no lows, as we've talked about. But, like, at what point, I mean, it's physically impossible. At what point did Bama fans feel any amount of excitement for this year? Maybe the Ole Miss game?
I was going to say maybe Florida in the SEC championship. Maybe.
Was that close? What even? It was never even close.
Florida technically, statistically played them the closest of anybody.
Yeah, exactly. Statistically.
It was really, you know what it was kind of like, T-Bob? It was kind of like the LSU-Alabama game last year where it ended close, but Florida never really had a shot with the ball at the end.
Yes, yeah.
It was kind of like that.
Yeah,
but
except even larger gap. Like it was kind of like that, but not exactly the same.
Kept it within 6 normally, but Bama would just go down and make it 13, and then Florida back to 6. I mean, so.
Jeez, man, it's something that. Okay, I want to pick your brain on this because Corey Johnson, who I really enjoy going on his show every Tuesday, he took it as accepted truth that you would automatically rather be an Alabama fan. Just in terms of like, or you would want that level of success for your school. And I do think the majority of people would probably agree with that. Whatever, you win championships, year in and year out, gives you bragging rights. You love all that. But like, I do kind of have to wonder if that is a be careful what you wish for type of situation. Again, I think about the emotions that were pulled out of my heart, pulled out of my gut, my loins during that Florida game, during the Ole Miss game this year. And I don't know that Alabama's had anything comparable for a long time now. I don't know. We'll see. It's everything in this world is a U-curve, right? There can always be too much of a good thing. Me and Emil McClellan were arguing in our texts earlier. Shout out to Emil. He was a member of the fan cave this year. Had a ton of fun. But he was telling me, look, you can't support player latitude and then get mad about James Harden. And I said, wait, I absolutely can. There can be something gone too far, a good thing gone too far. There can be too much of a good thing. That's what the James Harden deal is. It's too much. I support player latitude. I support player power. And whatever, man, if you have the power to affect the trade like James Harden did, you're within your rights to do so. But it doesn't mean that I have to think that it's good for the sport, because I think it's horrible for the sport. I think it's a slap in the face at all the Houston fans that defended his crappy style of play for so many years. I think it's a slap in the face to anybody ever feeling like their superstar is safe because he's under contract. It's a slap in the face to what contracts actually mean in the NBA nowadays. I mean, the NBA has reached the dystopian future that basketball predicted so many years ago. Do you all remember the narration to Open Basketball where they're talking about corporate sponsors on the stadiums, teams and franchises leaving cities to go find more money? You know, the Lakers go to Los Angeles where there are no lakes. The Jazz go to Utah where they don't allow music. You mentioned that they have the player doing the opening press conference. He's like, after playing in, Dallas, San Francisco, blah, blah, I'm so excited to be here in Miami. And they're like, you're in Minnesota. That's James Harden. And it's gone too far. There can be too much of a good thing. Bama is James Harden. I hate you both. And all you gumps, keep telling me how happy you are. Keep proving my points. So coming up this hour, I want to talk a bit about the Pelicans game last night. We haven't really gotten to touch on that quite yet. I want to talk about Jake Peetz and DJ Mangus as well. Whereas, look, if you're into LSU football talk to a very nerdy level, like very deep conversation, I would once again direct you to the Hold That podcast that I do with Brody Miller, who writes for The Athletic. We recorded a new episode yesterday in which we talked a lot about the Peetz Mangus opening pressers, as well as what Coach O had to say about defensive coordinator and the search, and really what it means for, I think, what you experienced last year with Bo Pelini. So we'll get to the defensive coordinator and Coach O part maybe next. I'm going to play some of that audio. But first I want to talk about Peetz and Mangus, because I really loved what I heard out of Jake Peetz from a philosophical standpoint yesterday. And it's because it all started with player trust, right? The answer where he's talking about football is not the focus right now. The focus is getting to know these players. It's establishing a relationship with these players so that they respond to you, so that they trust you. And like he said, he wants to feel comfortable. He wants his players to feel comfortable with coming over to his home. He wants his players to know his wife, his 6 children, which, by the way, bless that woman and bless that family. I think they've been in like 7 different stops in the last 9 years. And Jake, very fertile, married in 2012, 6 kids. Maybe pump the brakes a little bit. That's Phillip Rivers type of numbers there. I mean, this thing, you're going to end up on a reality television show if you're not careful. But the point being is that this is a man who wants them to feel comfortable, his players feel comfortable coming in his home, coming to that environment, and that player trust. And I don't just mean trust off the field, right? Or excuse me, I mean trust on the field as well. And a lot of times they go hand in hand. But when you establish that trust on the field, then you get the scheme input and you establish the trust on the, you establish it off the field. Then the scheme comes in. And if you have success there, it helps you to establish trust on the field. And ultimately, that's all you want as a player. It's all you want. It's all you're looking for. Is if I listen to my coach and I do exactly what he's telling me, even if I don't like it, can I trust that he's putting me in the best position to succeed for my team and for my career? And it sounds like Pete's understands that from a philosophical standpoint. That's not to say he's going to be able to pull it off, right? And that's really this entire hire. I can't pretend to know whether or not everything he said will come true, whether or not he can execute on these ideas, but I like the core ideas. The same way that I like the kind of guiding philosophy of LSU in searching out these offensive minds, where they specifically wanted to put their thumb on the scale to go a bit younger. We kept using the Bain analogy. These guys grew up in the spread. They were molded by it. Coach O got dangerously close to using the Bain analogy yesterday when explaining what they were looking for. And also acknowledging that as great as Coach Ensminger was and has been these last few years, that it is just something different when you have to adopt these modern concepts versus when you're kind of at the forefront of them. Now, that is not any sort of disparagement of tarnishment of what Steve Ensminger did, because if you just look at the raw numbers, Steve Ensminger is one of, if not the greatest LSU offensive coordinator ever. So he deserves a ton of credit. But it was time for a change, and I like philosophically the change that they made. I love what Jake Peetz had to say yesterday. And you could kind of get that. I got a very sincere feel from Jake Peetz. Did y'all get that? Like a man who, he knows the value of this opportunity, right? When you hired Linehan, what was this but another box to be checked on his resume? He's been an NFL head coach before. It is what it is. Pass the game for a college, sure. Go make some money, sure. You know, you've got a big-time school. That's all well and good. But it didn't mean anything. This means everything to Jake Peetz. He's been grinding for this opportunity his entire life. He's learned from some of the greatest offensive minds his entire working life in order to get here. Remember, this is the man who got his first coaching job by literally walking onto a practice field and addressing the head coach out of nowhere and just saying, "You should hire me." And then a few days later, all of a sudden, he's the strength and conditioning coordinator. He's the special teams coach. I mean, this is a guy who has grinded for this opportunity. As we said, NFL stops all throughout the way. And through that, he's gained a lot of invaluable resources that maybe somebody like DJ Mangus doesn't have. And that's why these two complement each other so well. Peetz has been in all different environments. He's worked with different position groups. He's worked with all different types of people. So he has the ability to communicate with people from all sorts of different backgrounds, all different parts of the country, all different age ranges. And we're talking about college coaching, communication, especially communication of responsibility, is maybe, longer, like you want to establish that trust first, and then you want to make sure that your players know what you're trusting them to do. It's one of the most, if not the most important factor. It's why I love the answer yesterday that you played earlier in the show, Musso, about, he had some conversations with Joe Brady last year where maybe sometimes Joe helped him take advanced algebra down to algebra 1. So the kind of core theory remains complex, and it looks complex to the opponent, but you simplify it for your team so that your guys get it and they can play fast. It's easy to say, hard to do. It sounds like Pete's learned a lot of that from Brady, and that's, I think, where DJ Mangus comes in, and that's where the tag team factor comes in. Pete's knows how to put this theory into action, I think, and when you look at Mangus, although he has been a play caller and an offensive coordinator before, I think that he's just a little more green when it comes to dealing with all these different rooms, all these different backgrounds, with all these different people. And so you kind of have the Wunderkind idea with Mangus, the guy who's at the fore of offensive theory, and then you combine him with Peetz, which allows him to enact that offensive theory and put it into place and get the players to understand it, and all of a sudden you got a pretty deadly combination there. And in Peetz, you could have a guy who's here to stay. Like we said, he recognizes the value of this opportunity. He wants to be here. Yesterday in that press conference, I got the feeling that this was a guy who recognized this is his big break. This is what his career has been pushing for. This is what he has been working for. And so he's going to make the most of it. He's going to leave quite literally everything out there on the field, in the locker room. It's like he said, man, you want to talk about these coaches being workaholics. Despite having 6 kids, he spent more time with Joe Brady last year probably than even his wife. And so you can believe that he's not going to let this opportunity go without doing everything he can to have success. And then maybe if we just really want to get excited and extrapolate and talk about, maybe even be a bit naive in our optimism and look forward to what the most golden scenario could be, if he ends up being really good, he could be your answer for a while. This could be a Venables type of situation, potentially, where you have a guy who's been all over the place, traveled so much that maybe he wants to root down for a little bit, have some semblance of consistency in his life. And if he has success in Baton Rouge, it looks like that could potentially be the answer. Other things that I love that Pete's talked about, he talked about customizing the offense to his personnel. And of course, that is something that would seem so obvious, yet there are still coaches that don't feel that way. And it's a bit of an old school coach mentality versus a new school coach mentality. And you definitely saw it with Bo Pelini last year. Bo Pelini represents the old school, where it was my way or the highway. In my opinion, Pete's and Mangus, they represent the new theory of coaching, right? Which is customizing to what your environment is giving you. The analogy that I go to is like, let's say you're building roads in the past. Some people, they'll build a road straight no matter what, right? They don't care what obstacles are in their way. Environment be damned. We're going to dam up this river. We're going to make bridges. We're going to tunnel directly through this mountain. And that is what it is. But then other coaches or other architects, other designers, they're going to work with their environment, right? A little more environmentally friendly. They're going to build the curves of the road around the mountain. They're going to build the building around that beautiful oak tree so that nature and like what you have naturally and what you're trying to build, that it works in concert together. And it sounds like that's what Pete wants to do offensively. Not being married to a system, have a system that's dynamic enough where you can tweak and change things in order to maximize the success of your personnel. And so when he's talking about personnel groupings, that's why he's saying, look, I'm not married to anything. And that was the strength of Joe Brady. Remember, at the beginning of 2019, who thought that Clyde Edwards-Helaire would be the every down back? That was something that developed naturally, right? LSU just staying in that 11 personnel with the Fab Five of Clyde, Thad Moss, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, and who else am I blanking on here? Or is that it? And whatever. The point being, like that personnel group, that 11 personnel group, what ended up dominating 2019, they kind of found that along the way. And so it sounds like Pete and Mangus, they're going to find their own system, their own groupings of what really works for this team along the way. So I know it's just a press conference, and I'm probably making way too much of it. But just in terms of press conferences go, and in terms of trying to understand the philosophical approach of a coach, I really love what I saw out of Jake Peets yesterday. And I think that him and Mangus can be a very effective tag team in terms of supporting each other's strengths and minimizing each other's weaknesses. All right, when we get back, continue to break down, maybe talk a little NFL playoffs. Still got some Pelicans to get to as well. Keep it locked right here on OTBOT.
OTB OT. Off the Bench, hanging with Esther and Hanny, after further review and more, are all live daily on the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge YouTube channel. Subscribe now to interact with us inside the live chat driven by Bayou Ford.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Service Mastery Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Mastery Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Mastery Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey guys, this is Ryan Terrio with Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge, and you've got to come see us for the New Year's Certified Pre-Owned event. CPO vehicles come with an unlimited mileage warranty, and right now we're offering a 2-month payment credit up to $1,500, as well as 1.99% for 36 months on all eligible models. Check them out at mbobr.com or go see my guys Nick and Hess to take your new year up a gear. See dealer for complete details and exclusions. Qualified customers only. Subject credit approval by NBFS. Must take delivery by March 1st, 2021.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Happy New Year from Corvell Toyota in Opelousas. You can get into a Corolla for $239 a month with only $2,000 down, or choose from our pre-owned selection. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Hey, T-Bob, sports wouldn't be the same without the die-hard fans, so we're highlighting the fans that do it the most.
Every week, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge brings you the Citizens Bank Fan of the Week. Check it out, 1045ESPN.com.
It's the Citizens Bank Fan of the Week.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Thursday's AFR, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, previewing Saints Bucks with Mike Detillier, and we'll recap LSU, Arkansas, and hoops. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with T-Bob Hebert, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Yo, what up, y'all? Welcome back. OTB OT. T-Bob, Musso, Danny hanging out with you today. We were just talking during the break, right? Because we talk about adapting a lot of times, right? And I think I said architect. I think thinking landscape architect. I think engineer is probably the profession I was looking for in the analogy about burrowing through the mountain and cutting down the forest versus kind of building around the forest. But when we're talking about adapting to your personnel, there's a really concrete, very simple example of it from last year's offense. And it's something that we complained about constantly. The third and short quick zone runs, right? That clearly were not working. The offensive line, the running back, whatever it is, the not having a quarterback that's a true running threat, like it just wasn't working, and yet LSU kept banging their head against their wall. Now, to their credit, eventually they got it fixed. They figured out, oh, wait, the QB sneaks in this same situation seem to be working much better, and finally they came around, they started doing that, and it led to success. My point is that adaptation to personnel should have come quicker, and arguably, hopefully, with this new crew, it will come quicker, at least if they're being true to the philosophies that they are espousing. Ed Orgeron also talked to the media yesterday, along with Jake Peets and DJ Mangus. And I know a lot of people focus in on his answers on offensive coordinator, but I do think defensive coordinators are interesting to highlight. And the main answer that I wanted to talk about is the one where he's answering what he's looking for in a defensive coordinator. And it's intriguing because it almost felt like validation of a lot of the things that we were all seeing outside looking in as fans, just watching the television copy. It seems like a lot of the instincts, a lot of the criticisms were on point, right? When we were talking about, does it look like, it doesn't look like the team's responding to Pelini in any way when he's yelling at them on the sideline. It looks like they're kind of nonplussed, just looking off into the distance, like he's yelling into the void. And I feel very confident in saying that was indeed the case. I mean, listen to Orgeron's answers yesterday. What are they looking for in a defensive coordinator? They're looking for someone who connects with the players. They're looking for someone who, when they talk, the coach talks, the players listen. For somebody who commands the room, who has a presence about them. That was not Bo Pelini. I think that's one of the things that hurt Arnett in his interview process. And that's maybe why a name like Ryan Nielsen becomes so interesting. Because Nielsen, now he's never been defensive coordinator, but if we just look at his D-line resume, Feldman talked about his time at NC State earlier, where NC State got good, and they got good almost specifically because of how disruptive their defensive line was. He turned a bunch of no-name guys into NFL draft picks, and then eventually he ends up on the New Orleans Saints staff. And when you look at that Saints defensive line, think about how hard it is to coach a position group in the NFL. And let's just look at the Saints defensive line as an example. Ryan Nielsen has to figure out ways to motivate rookies, young guys, be it like a Sheldon Rankins, an Onyemata, Malcolm Roach, these young players. But then at the same token, he has to be able to coach, criticize, and motivate all-decade players. Right? Like, it's easy to get Trey Hendrickson to listen to you. How do you also then get Cam Jordan to listen to you? It's by having that presence. When you speak, the players listen. And so I think you see that in Ryan Nielsen's time with the New Orleans Saints. And when you talk to people around that program, around that franchise, I should say, and when you talk to players who have played for him, you get a similar sense that, yes, everybody in that room respects him, and everybody believes that if they do what he's saying, he's putting them in the best position to succeed. And the Saints' results speak for themselves. I mean, the D-line is one of the most dominant in the entire NFL. Even this year, where Cam Jordan's numbers are as down as they've ever been in a long time, Trey Hendrickson picks up the slack. Onyemata picks up the slack on the interior. Sheldon Rankins with the sack last game. He's now coming on. Marcus Davenport, still not getting the raw numbers you want, but affecting the game nonetheless. So that's why I think Nielsen's an interesting name to watch out for. Plus, when you combine things like his relationship with Orgeron. And it's funny, I can speak to this a bit. Now, it was a long, long time ago. Back in 2006 at Ole Miss football camp. The most intense camp I've ever been to. This was old school Orgeron, where we're doing like fully unpadded two-a-days. The high school camp, it was wild. Only time I ever had full body cramps in my entire life. But the point is, Nielsen was on that staff, and I'd forgotten until I was Googling him and looked at him without a beard, and sure enough, there he is. And he was that D-line coach there, and his ability to connect with you was spectacular. Even then, I only can imagine that it's become refined over the years, so it's certainly a name to watch out for. Shane Smith, Nielsen ever called defensive plays? I don't believe so. We'd have to double check his resume, but I don't believe he's ever been a defensive coordinator calling plays. So, I mean, look, there's risk. There's risk. There's always risk in hiring, though, right? That's what we've been talking about. And outside of Freeman, who you thought was a sure thing, I don't know if there's a sure thing out there, right? Charlie Strong, a mixed bag. Really good parts of his resume, really horrible parts of his resume. Pete Golding. Why would Pete Golding even be available? Is Alabama trying to move on from, right? It's like, I don't know. Schumann seems like someone who would be a home run, but there just hasn't been a lot of smoke there. So we'll wait and see where it goes. But at least, again, I feel like, look, it's okay to make mistakes in football, in life. But what your coaches will tell you, the main thing is, can you avoid making the same mistake twice? And at least with how LSU is approaching this from the parameter standpoint, what they're looking for in coaches, it seems to me that they are desperately trying to avoid making the same mistake twice. And, we got a little time, and we'll see if it pays dividends. Shane Smith, you got a guy on the staff with all those qualifications, but he can't get hired because he never called plays before. Yeah, look, as far as Corey Raymond goes, I don't know what to make of it, right? You would think that he would maybe be that he's earned that opportunity, that he's definitely qualified for it. But I can't pretend to have any inside information as to why there's not more taking place there. And certainly, I think it's very frustrating. I think it's also got to be very frustrating on the NFL level for Bieniemy, who they're now saying may not get a head coaching job, and yet now you have Joe Brady, who people are talking about giving a head coaching job. Like, Bieniemy's resume is much longer and more experienced than Brady. So, like, what's the difference? I don't know. You'll have to figure that out for yourself. But, okay, so here we go. Emil McClellan changed it for 13 to 16. Nielsen was defensive line recruiting coordinator and run game coordinator at North Carolina State. So he has a modicum of coordinator experience there. Is that NC State team? Did they beat Clemson? Or no, they almost beat Clemson. I can't remember. Either way, it's a name to watch out for, one that seems to be gaining. Well, and it's just in terms of Nielsen, he fits what Orgeron's talking about in terms of, like, some of the guys who want to talk to are still playing football. When he told us that at the time, you thought maybe it was Alabama, something like that. Now you have to question, okay, are the guys that he's looking at in the NFL? New Orleans Saints are getting ready for the Tampa Bay Bucks on Sunday afternoon. I know I can't wait. You can't wait. You heard Mincy earlier talk about it's a matchup that he's been most excited for in years. How could it not be? Tom Brady versus Drew Brees matchup for the ages. We laid it all out yesterday, right? As far as some of the interesting conversations around the Saints, we do have a bit of a Led Zeppelin situation going on where, we do this show every day, every week. And I have a bit of a song remains the same sort of feeling with the questions that I'm asking about the Saints offense. How many times have we asked this year, can this Saints offense find its rhythm? Can it get back to the offense that we know and love? And look, maybe the two halves of last game, maybe they give you the answer. Maybe something changed within that game alone, right? Because Drew Brees goes 14 of 23 in the first half, looked a little stilting, a lot to be desired. Second half, he goes 14 of 16, comes out, they dominate. Should have scored 28, right? Arguably could have won 28-3 very easily. So maybe that is the turning point. Or maybe because it's the playoffs now and everything gets harder from here on out. And like Mincy said, in the playoffs, the Saints have actually been hitting unders the last few years. Maybe this offense just have to be good enough, right? I don't think it matters whether or not they can get back to the heights that they are used to, being the number one offense in the NFL, top 5, whatever. The bottom line that they have to answer is, can this Saints offense be good enough? And if that is the question, if that's how we're adjusting our thinking, I do feel confident that they can do that, especially with Deontay Harris back in the mix, especially with Mike Thomas back in the mix. Emmanuel Sanders continues to play well. And how important are those guys going to be when you look at this Tampa Bay defense? What do? They stop the run. Incredible at stopping the run. Only giving up 80 yards per game. That is wild, y'all. The Saints, you think about them being an elite run defense, and they are. They give up 90 a game. Second place in the NFL, 90 a game. So Tampa isn't just first. They're first by a significant margin, but they are weak in the secondary. And so it's going to be up to this O-line to give Drew Brees time. I'm looking at you, Cesar Ruiz. You struggled on games at points sometimes this year. I don't know that there's a better. I think the two top pass rushing linebackers in the NFL may be Demario Davis and Devin White. And so Ruiz, whoever else, like that offensive line is going to have to be on their game, keep Brees upright, allow you to take advantage of Tampa's weakness in the secondary, and then through the pass, you eventually open up the run. And obviously Alvin Kamara is going to be just as important in getting that passing game going, however they look to make it work. Other things I want to see this Sunday, the Taysom Hill package works. I don't agree. I mean, I know he turned it over against Sunday, and it led to a lot of people being like, why would we ever run any of this? But no, it works. It actually is. It has worked on the whole. But if I was Peyton, I would be very careful of using him in too many big shot moments. Because, I mean, they had it last game. Peyton called the perfect play. The play was there for Taysom when he went to throw the bomb, but I don't know that Taysom can always execute on those big passing plays. The 3rd and 3s, the 4th and 3s, absolutely. He's been a killer in those zones. And I understand Peyton taking the shot there because that's how you set it up. You get people thinking conservative with Hill, and then you go for the big time, but he's just been too inconsistent in that regard. You know that ball that he fumbled last week? Do you know how long he held on to it? I came across this on New Orleans Football. 3.94 seconds. How in the world are you supposed to protect for 4 seconds? Remember, Drew Brees and Brady average about 2.5. So you're looking at nearly double that. In the NFL, that is an eternity. And you saw it. You always hear about people saying his decision-making was a tick too slow. That was Taysom Hill on that play. So don't get it wrong. Taysom Hill has a huge role to play. He is your short yardage master. But that ball should have been out of his hand sooner, and you probably have a touchdown. So I'd be wary. Because those turnovers, you can get away with that against the Bears. Everything going to be much more impactful from each game here on out, for each subsequent game. All mistakes get magnified. The margins of error get slimmer and slimmer. And so you have to start to demand perfection, and this offense has to be good enough. And so I think with Deontay Harris and Mike Thomas, I believe that they can be. We'll see. I have no conversation piece for this, but we just haven't mentioned yet. How badass was Latavius Murray's touchdown last week? I mean, you want to talk about, I love the movie Soul that just came out on Disney+. They talk about jazzing in that a lot. Jazz music, right? Kind of improvising on the fly. That was football jazz. That was two football guys that have been at it for a long time, two expert musicians speaking, conversating through football. Latavius Murray's responsibilities on that play were just pass protection. He cuts the defensive end. He kind of lays there for a second, too, which is kind of funny. And then he realizes, oh, snap, Breeze changes up the beat a little bit. He's like somebody hitting a solo. And then Latavius Murray picks up on that solo. He starts to carry that tune forward. Breeze hits him, touchdown. I mean, that was just a beautiful, improvised, jazz-tastic play, and it made my football heart so happy. Because that's the type of veteran playmaking, type of savvy that, yes, Danny, great job using the Nick replay here. That's the type of savvy that you're going to need to have if you're going to pull off this Super Bowl run. Fire the slime cannons. Where are they at? Okay, there we go. What a great way. All right. Let's go to break. And when we get back, we will get to the New Orleans Pelicans here on OTBOT 104.5 ESPN.
OTB, OT. Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Here's a great way to start the new year, saving lots of money, because Richards Honda has 0% financing. 0% on some of your favorite Honda models. And with Richards Honda transparent pricing, there are no add-ons or hidden fees. When we give you a price, that's the price you pay. Transparent pricing and 0% financing? Must be why smart customers love Richards Honda. Interstate 12 at Millerville Road and richardshonda.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Master Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Master Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Hey guys, this is Ryan Terrio with Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge, and you've got to come see us for the New Year's Certified Pre-Owned event. CPO vehicles come with an unlimited mileage warranty, and right now we're offering a 2-month payment credit up to $1,500, as well as 1.99% for 36 months on all eligible models. Check them out at mbobr.com or go see my guys Nick and Hess to take your new year up a gear. See dealer for complete details and exclusions. Qualified customers only. Subject credit approval by NBFS. Must take delivery by March 1st, 2021.
Join us for a Thursday edition of Jimmy Ott's Game Time, live from Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. LSU basketball gets a win last night, and we continue to break down Saints-Bucks in the Superdome on Sunday. Come out and see us or tune in at 6 p.m. on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with T-Bob Hebert, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back, OTB OT. Talking about a little Eastbound and Down during the break. I don't remember how it came up. I think Katie Mix might have been on the television or something. Great show, though. I need to rewatch season 1. Haven't seen it in a long time. Something I maybe don't need to rewatch is the last week of Pelicans basketball. Pelicans lose again. It's now 4 in a row. Unfortunately, it's just all too familiar of a feeling, right? These are starting to look like the New Orleans Pelicans that I know and love. I should have known that the 4-2 start was too good to be true. Of course, they're now 4-6. And look, let's be clear. I'm not sitting here saying all is done, right? Because it's absolutely not. It's a long season, man. You can't get too married to the hills and valleys, because eventually things kind of even out over time. But I'll ask you all this: what were your expectations for the Pelicans going into this season?
Playoffs.
Okay.
Whether it be the 8th seed or whatnot, playoffs.
Okay.
You got so close last year with Alvin Gentry, where honestly, without COVID, they probably make it. Let's be honest. Before the season stopped,
that's fair.
They were rolling. The schedule set up perfectly for them. It looked like they were going to do it. Shut down, all that, blah blah blah. We know how it played out. Now you have, you make a couple moves, get Steven Adams, you get Eric Bledsoe, bring in Stan Van Gundy, who can hopefully help your defense. You've had games where hopefully you know how to win at the end.
Yep.
And you expect them, okay, you were close last year, you've made better moves, get in this year, and it looks almost like the exact same thing you saw last year.
Yeah, so currently, it is no different. They're 13th in the West. It's 4-6.
There it is.
Danny, what were your expectations coming into the season?
I thought they would compete for the 8th seed. Coming off of last year, they still had a really good team, even with the Draw Day trade. And now I thought they would compete for the AC, like be in the mix with Memphis and all those teams.
So this is probably where I'm an idiot because I truly am that person caught in a toxic relationship, right? Where I keep buying their BS. I was thinking like 5th seed, 6th seed. Now
That's aggressive.
Now it's aggressive, obviously, right? So my expectations have obviously adjusted since then. However, just to prove how dumb I am, there's still a point of me that refuses to accept that they can actually be that bad. What do y'all think? Or do you still think today at 4-6 that they will win the A seed in the Western Conference?
I think they can. I'm not going to say that they will, but I think they can.
I'm saying going into the final week of the season, will they be playing games that will determine whether or not they win that A seed?
It's very early to tell. Still a lot of more games. They need to bring in a big to back up Steven Adams because right now there's not enough depth amongst the bigs on the team.
Would y'all be down for this some of these proposed Bradley Beal trades? Try to bring in more scoring?
Yeah, I mean, Bradley Beal's a beast, but I don't see them getting him because his contract.
I mean, they need more scoring, yes, but you got to stop giving up 118 points and 111 points as well. In their last 5 games, they've given up 116, 118, 111, 118, 111.
Yeah, and last night
that's not good. I mean, that's not good enough.
Well, in 3 of the 4 losses, I mean, last night was what it was. And let's be clear, I'm not overly upset about last night's loss. This team is too thin to not have Lonzo, Zion, and Eric Bledsoe. If you don't have that, you're going to lose almost to anybody you play. It's just how this team is made up. The roster is still pretty razor thin.
And how do you need more scoring when you have B.I., Zion, Lonzo, Bledsoe? I mean, how do you...
It's just a bench scoring. It's just, really, B.I. and Zion are the only consistent high-volume scorers.
I guess that's fair.
And then Zion is not having a ton of success all the time. I feel like when, they've tried some things where they've kind of left him on with the second unit to be that scorer. Really, you need J.J. Redick to get back to being J.J. Redick. Because if you look at the run they went on last year, that's where it came from, the bench scoring, was J.J. coming in and getting hot. That's not just been there. Does Nickeil Alexander-Walker start to develop into a little bit of that?
37 last night.
37 last night, 5 of 8 from 3. It's hard to, obviously that's an outlier. He's not going to do that, but he didn't have to do that. Can he give you consistent points off the bench? Maybe he ends up entering the starting lineup. I don't know.
Yeah,
I will say this, though.
They close at the end of some of those games. It's a different story.
So that's the disappointing part, right? Because that's the song remains the same part, is that's what's plagued them for years. Fourth quarter collapses. And you saw it 3 times last week alone. Last night, again, doesn't matter. It is what it is. But you can't, and again, it doesn't feel like you're going to beat the Lakers.
No, you're not going to.
Lonzo's not going to be healthy.
The
Lakers are playing incredible. I think you'll get Zion back. We'll see what these inconclusive tests say. But I get worried about letting this thing spiral out of control too much because I've seen it so many times with the Pelicans where it's like, okay, it's just a couple losses. Everybody pump the brakes, chill. It's just 3. It's just 4. Probably after Friday, it's just 5. And then you're at the bottom of the Western Conference and you're still doing the mental gymnastics to tell yourself that you're a playoff team. And that's what I fear because they have a very long and very tough road trip that they are going to be on for the next couple of weeks. And they have to avoid the ultimate collapse. And so that's on Stan Van Gundy. That's on Brandon Ingram. That's on Zion Williamson. That's on everybody in that franchise, top to bottom, finding ways to get wins like this Friday against the Lakers where you shouldn't. Like tomorrow. You are not going to be the favorite. Lakers playing great basketball. Find a way to win that game. Kyra Lewis Jr. had some nice moments last night, I thought. The rookie draft pick out of Alabama. He finishes at 10 points, 3 of 6, 2 of 3 from 3 in just 16 minutes. Him going forward could be a bit of a developmental piece. One guy I need to see more from is Nico Melli. Nico Melli's just done absolutely nothing.
I forget he's on the team
this year. Yeah,
honestly, I forget that he's on the team.
And I guess it's part of the Pelicans' overall problem is Melli and Redick are supposed to be 2 of your best 3-point shooters, and the shots are just not falling for those guys right now. So we'll see. We'll see where it goes. Huge game, in my opinion, though, tomorrow. I don't expect them to win, but if you want to stop the slide, if you want to mitigate the damage of the past week, beating the Lakers would be huge. All right, we'll close out OT next. You got any questions for me? You can do like an Ask T-Bob or something in the chat, and we'll answer them right here on 104.5 ESPN.
OTB, OT. We opened up the playbook and expanded our coverage. Listen daily in high definition on 98.1 HD2. We are 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Hey guys, this is Ryan Terrio with Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge, and you've got to come see us for the New Year's Certified Pre-Owned event. CPO vehicles come with an unlimited mileage warranty, and right now we're offering a 2-month payment credit up to $1,500, as well as 1.99% for 36 months on all eligible models. Check them out at mbobr.com or go see my guys Nick and Hess to take your new year up a gear. See dealer for complete details and exclusions. Qualified customers only. Subject credit approval by NBFS. Must take delivery by March 1st, 2021.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
From Corval Toyota in Opelousas. You can get into a new Camry for $335 a month with only $2,000 down, or choose from our pre-owned selection. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
$14,000 off MSRP on a new 2020 Ford Expedition XLT. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty, and with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Thursday's AFR, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, previewing Saints Bucks with Mike Detillier, and we'll recap LSU, Arkansas, and hoops. Join us 3 to 6. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB, OT, with T-Bob Hebert, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Yeah, I think Ryan Seacrest has sex with anybody that he wants.
Probably.
Man, woman, it doesn't really matter.
Both.
I mean, you want to talk about a powerful individual. He's good looking. Watching him do yoga in his tights right now on Live with Kelly and Ryan.
I don't think he sleeps ever. If
No,
I'm being
he
honest.
works 24/7.
Like, there's no
dude.
way that guy gets sleep.
I like that.
Ever in life.
I like the Disney family sing-alongs that he's hosts. He's
I
just.
didn't even know he did that.
Yeah, exactly. You'll learn. All right, Emil says, ask the boys, would you break up with your significant other for $5 million? Why or why not? I would not. Because I know when my wife leaves town for 10 days, I revert to like eating pizza, touching myself, and smoking cigarettes. It's just not good. Like, I fall apart. So no, I would not. Would y'all leave your significant other for $5 million?
No, some things are more important than money.
Oh, wow. Shane Smith says he would leave his wife without a second thought.
Hopefully she's not listening.
He's a real one. Danny,
Yeah,
you don't have a significant other. Have you ever had a significant other? I don't even know if you have any perspective to answer this question.
I would absolutely leave my significant other for $5 million.
Ask T-Bob, if you could have any guest on your show from any time in history, who would it be? Augustus Caesar.
That's an interesting one.
Julius gets the highlights. Okay.
He does.
And Augustus is not a good person. I mean, nobody's a good person, really. You're talking about great men in history, whatever. But if you look at the beginning of Augustus' career, it's like uber violent, all this stuff. But in terms of being an administrator, in terms of the amount of information that this man could process and how forward-thinking he was and how to build an empire that would then go on to work for hundreds of years, I can't help but be absolutely fascinated by it. It's kind of mind-blowing. I would really recommend, I think it's Adrian Goldsmith maybe, who wrote Augustus, but it's an incredible biography. I would really recommend to check it out. Matthew Musso, Danny Cardenas, excellent job today. Thank you to everybody who got involved in the chat. And we'll close out the week. Tomorrow, it's Friday. Hit us up with some tier list idea. What should we rank? King cakes?
OTB, OT.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1